And so I'm actually going to present to you more about the Sales Insight and the newer feature Microsoft added recently to the Sales Insight by Sales Accelerator actually. So what is the capabilities we have and how to use them properly and to enhance the salesperson, I would say to give them a more empower and the capabilities to the salesperson. And we can go ahead actually from here. So you can follow me on Twitter. I just publish my own blogs actually on medium.com. I'm planning to launch my website actually, but it's just focusing on medium.com because we have a diverse crowd there actually. And if you have any query for this session, actually this session and next session on the customer insights and Power Virtual Agent, you can send any email to me directly actually. So yeah, so it's basically what is the Sales Insight? As many of us know, actually, who are using Dynamics 365 for sales, recently Microsoft is adding so many features in the sales actually as part of the empowering the sales functionalities actually. So if you remember a couple of years back, actually, Sales Insight was a different solution what we have right now as Customer Service Insights, but now Microsoft embed the insights within the CRM actually. So based on your licensing and based on your requirement, you can actually go for the more advanced option, like more advanced solution in the D365 actually. So with out of the box, you'll get like free version with D365 sales license. You'll get relationship assistant. You'll get the auto capture and the email engagement. Like this function, this three feature will be available for all the environment with D365 for sales license. But if you want to go for further more on the sales insight feature side of it, you can go for predictive lead scoring, opportunity scoring, forecasting. What actually Diane actually show us couple of hours before. You can go for the talking point sales accelerator, which I'm going to show you right now. You can go for note analysis, email engagement, and all these things, correct? So that is I would say it's a premium function features in the sales insights. But apart from that, there is one more solution Microsoft recently launched called Conversation Intelligence. It basically, it's very similar product what we have in customer service inside as calls insights. It basically track your conversation, what your salesperson having with the customer to give more talking points to analysis what they are saying with the past, like all the I would say more of a sales pitch side of it, how you can improve your salesperson's sales pitch and all this information, like give you more insights about the way they talk and what kind of words they're using, positive, negative, get this real-time sentiment on the conversation with your customer by the sales agent wise. And you can get the same information in very similar product. I'm going to show both the products right now, one in this session, call inside in the next session. So, yep. So apart from that, as you can see on the right side, we have global setting. That's the latest version of Wave 1 2020. So as I mentioned, with out of the box, you'll get assistant, you'll get the insight cards, you'll get the assistant email engagement part of it, correct? But if you want to go for the advanced version of Sales Insight, you can see after installation, all the version, like all the advanced functionality of Sales Insights, which includes your predictive modeling and the premium function of forecasting actually. So there is two type of forecasting, by the way. One is the out of the box, like basic forecasting, which Diane show us, and one more, it's called premium forecasting, which take more advanced feature, takes data from opportunity and leads, and give you like futuristic forecasting. So yeah, and yeah, next slide. So with this function, like recent couple of months back, Microsoft added we already have the D365 in the Teams, but with the Sales Insight in Teams, a salesperson without moving to a different solution within the same app, they can open the D365 and they can get all the information about their opportunity, the insights about all the data actually, and these are coming from the cards and based on the Insight Assistant actually. So yeah, as everyone know actually, because this feature, the card inside cards, is there from a couple of years now. You can go ahead and create your own card, customize the existing one, and all these things. I'm going to show you demo quickly, but I just want to run through the high-level functionalities. And then we have customer communication. So there are a couple of new feature Microsoft added actually, which I'm going to show. It's more of insights about activities to what your contact is doing, what your what kind of activities salesperson need to do in order to close the deal faster. And then we have actually predictive lead scoring. So based on that certain amount of data when you have, you can go ahead and build your lead score. So it's pretty advanced tool. You can so once you have a certain amount of data required by Microsoft, you can design your model, and you can actually you can design a model and then give a loading to the model. Okay, based on this, give this lead scoring. So the lead scoring actually, I would say it's coming from the concept is coming from the marketing. If you remember, like when you have a prospect you have a prospect, correct? And then in marketing, you design scores. If a person send an email, prospect send an email, give 10 score. If he calls you after sending an email, give 20. If you attend my webinar on in event in person, give him 25 points. So based on these points, will understand, okay, how much interest person is developing to buy my product or services, correct? So this kind of based on different function, different I would say channel or different presence by person, you can give the lead score. And the same kind of model you can build for lead and for the opportunity, both entities actually. Yeah, apart from that, that is more of a conversation intelligence, as I mentioned. You can get right now is in the perfect preview and available in North America and will be available soon. So I'm going to show you a quick demo. Yeah. So in the D365, once you move to, you have Wave 1 2020 updated, you can go to Sales Insight settings in the Sales Hub app. You can go to then go to global setting, and if you don't have actually Sales Insight, you'll get an option to try Insight, try Sales Insight kind of blue button. Just select the condition and install it. It will give you an option to all the available Sales Insight tools. So yeah, as I mentioned, actually, Insight cards was there from a couple of years. So you can build your own Insight card. You can update the existing one. And yeah, there's a couple of other things. Let's say recent meeting. If I want to update this, I can just update through flows, or I can make this as high priority. So it will be available on my top of my list. So you can use this card from Teams also. And will for how many security role, what kind of security role people can see this kind of card, actually this specific card. So this the look UI actually how the card will look like, and the content and all these things you can check. So you can build your own card. Just simply click here. It will open a flow and just build your own card with out of the box templates, a couple of templates, or you can build from scratch, correct? So apart from that, actually inside you can give a rating to the insights to your card actually. So because take an example, as a salesperson, I have hundreds of leads on opportunity, which is open with variety of revenue. I have many customers to follow up. So what's it should be like things should be prioritized based on the customer interest and my preferred customers, correct? Like category A customer, and the opportunity revenue should be greater than this amount. Show me this card on top of my list, correct? And the lead rating is formed. So you can choose this kind of entity. Like right now it's only 4, and you can choose what kind of data you want to show, like the filter or highlighted option. Yeah, that's simple thing. You just select a different options and put enter some amount. So if any account with total revenue 100,000, like $1 million, show me this card as top of my list, or opportunity estimated revenue greater than 6,000 of my base currency, or you can change to any value. So this will give you the ranking of your cards. So apart from that, actually, as I mentioned, there is a 2 features. We have auto capture, comes out of the box with base license, but you can go for premium auto capture, which includes your sales insights additional license. So it gives you auto capture functionalities, and I'm going to show you. One is basically your email engagement, which looks like if I open my contact. So once your installation is done, you can see Sales Accelerator on top of your dashboard will be added to you as the newer function. There is two more new feature will be added as activity insights, activity suggestion, and contact and suggestion. Actually, I'm going to explain you both quickly. So if I talk about the email engagement, so take an example. I send an email to my customer. Let's review the proposal. So after 1 or 2 days or within the same time, system will give me, when I click on this link, do you want to create a task or do you want to edit or create a task? So basically it gives me like option to create a task from email directly. I know many of my customer looks for, they want to create a task, follow up a task with this email. So without opening this email, you can just simply click on that blue link and create a follow-up task for this email actually. Or using the email engagement function, system will automatically create a task for you after certain date, correct? Based on the selected date you did. There's one more option called note analysis. So it's pretty similar option what we have right now for email. So let's say, yeah, that's a note I have created. So call Simon on 2nd May, correct? For proposal, like you can put some date and based on some kind of phrase called call, appointment, task. Based on this phrase, system will give you an option. You can create a task and or phone call activities. Like it gives an option to create an activity from the notes actually. So it do the analysis on the conversation, on the phrases, and give you an option to create a different type of activity actually. And then actually, if I go down, you have relationship analytics. It's yeah, it's right now it's available on preview. So it gives you like what kind of health you have. It gives you health relationship, what it means by health actual relationship. So based on my conversation going on with the customer and different type of activity, it gives a rating to my customer, like relationship between my contact and me actually, correct? So you can set customer and salesperson having an email, give a rate influence of 7 actually. You can rate up to 1 to 10, meeting up to 8, and you can just change the value, just simply drag drop. And how frequently do you want to capture this communication actually? So it basically not create any activity, but based on how the conversation is going on, based on different activity created by your salesperson, it will give an influencer number. So looks like this actually. Right now, I'm not doing so much of the. I don't have pretty good relationship with this contact, so that's the reason it's showing poor relationship and steady actually. But when we have multiple conversation going on, do a follow-up task, like do a follow-up call, phone call, emails, and appointments, it based on the rating, it'll give me the relationship assistant and the relationship insights about my contact actually. So this is eligible for contact, account, your leads, opportunity, and all the, like I would say, all the 4 key entities in the sales. There is something called connection insight as talking point. So what is talking point? So take an example. I have a pretty good relationship with my contact, which my customer salesperson, key salesperson, and we just go for pretty advanced. Like I would say, we just go for deep conversation, and we understand, we know their family and all. So when Simon actually send an email about the family or what's going on in health, family, sports, entertainment, on all these 4 topics, system will give me a talking point actually. So on the right side, you'll see like recently it sent an email to me, customer sent an email to me that I'm worried about COVID-19, about my family and all these things. So it gives you like more analysis on what you need to talk. So you can, next time a salesperson open this contact, you say, what about your son's admission in the UCLA, correct? So this kind of conversation a salesperson can do it in advance, and so on and so forth, correct? So that's more of a talking point for Simon, and it's coming from the sales insights actually. So you can get all these feature in Sales Insight form, because all this functionality which is out of the box embedded, but you can actually move this, I would say, grids and all these features to your interactive experience or the contact form. So apart from that, we have something called lead scoring. I'm going to show you lead scoring in some time, but let's move ahead and go to Sales Accelerator actually first. So in Sales Escalator, what is that actually? So take an example. I have to say I'm a salesperson. I have so many contacts. Like I have multiple contacts. I'm an account manager for many customers. I have like hundreds of leads and opportunity. I don't know what to do. So it's starting day of my day. Sales Insights card give me some analysis. Okay, you have appointment, you have this phone call, this and that, based on the ranking and the optimization I did actually during my setup, correct? But if I need to know what I have to do for each customer or based on certain, take an example, I created a couple of leads this week. What's the next step I have to do, correct? So, or for to guide a new salesperson, what they need to do once they create a lead, correct? So you can create a sequence actually. So that's more of a guidance process to give for the salesperson. So let's say I create a sequence. So you can create any kind of sequence actually here. Let me minimize this. So yeah, you can create you can create a sequence for either on leads or on opportunity right now, and it will show you the status of it's active, inactive, how many steps, and who owned by, what's modified. So let's say I created this sequence, like I would say this sales escalator. And then actually you can do the modification here. You can see a list of all the connected records, what you have. If I go back to my another actual record. So let's say if I go to sequence, I can create a new sequence from here. And let's say, oh, let's open the existing one, and I can click on edit steps. Now here I can add n number of stages here. Actually, there's I don't as of now I'm not able to identify what's the maximum limitation, but right now you can create like whenever a lead is created after 1 day or at the same time send an email to a customer, get introduced, correct? And you can choose the email template. So system automatically after a certain time sends an email to the contact to the lead's email ID. And then after that, immediately it creates a phone call activity for a salesperson to do. Once a salesperson either call or not call, or I would say like snows or put a reminder up to reschedule the call for next day, correct? Because of not availability or something else. Then once this phone call activity is done, I would like to wait for 3 days. And then if no call back comes from the contact or a lead, I would like to have an appointment with my lead. So you can create like this kind of activities. You can put a wait time, task, phone call, email activities, and it will show you all your list based on the due date and based on the different criteria, filter criteria put. So let's activate this, and I would like to, once it activated, I would like to go here. I'll go to my sales accelerator, and then it will show me list of all my activity need to do today in order to overcome my, in order to contact my customer or lead, correct? So right now, this is showing me the opportunity related stuff and showing me the lead one actually, correct? So let's click on lead. So you can click like as a salesperson, I have a sequence of Escalator. I have a sequence of activities I have to do based on today and what's based on open from a couple of days. You can put different filter criteria here. It will show me only lead, only appointments, what kind of task on activity type you want to see, uh, what's a group by date actually, shorted, and all these things, correct? So you can put multiple criteria here, and then you can select even due date from tomorrow or by today. So what you have to do, what you have to do tomorrow, correct? So if I open this lead, I have like added for you. So there is a once the lead is added, and so what I have to do before how the things will come up. Not for every lead, it will show you list of these activity. You have to add leads to the sequence actually. So what we need to do, let's do it quickly. So let's say I have a couple of open leads here. And when I select one or multiple leads, I would see an option called connect sequence, correct? So it basically, I have like out of 10 leads, but out of 10, I just want to only connect 2 leads to my sequence, correct? To do a follow-up for this trade show coming leads, correct? And then it will give an option what kind of sequence do you want to select. Right now it's showing only one because I have one sequence for lead, one for the opportunity. But when you have multiple, you can choose any one of the record where you want and which sequence you want to connect this your leads. So when I click on connect, it will connect my all the leads to the sequence. What is mean by connection? So let's say if I go back to my sequence, sorry, yeah, and if I open my trade show leads, and when I go to properties and I say connected record, it will show me my two recently connected leads actually. Now it's showing connection as connecting actually is not done right now. It takes some time because it's still it's reading my model. And if you want to disconnect any of your leads, select the lead and disconnect from here actually. So what is mean by connection and disconnection of a lead from a sales accelerator? So if take an example, you have hundreds of leads actually, and you want to do a follow-up only for a specific lead, you can choose those specific lead, add to the sequence, and based on the automation, system will create an activity for you and it will show in your leads timeline, correct? So when I click on here, it will show me, okay, you have an introduction call, which is due from like 2 days, and have you done or not? So edit for you, correct? So what I can do as a salesperson, if I click here, it will right now give me error. But right now, what you can do as a additional function, you can use the SIP integration, which is channel integration framework, and connect your CTI, your telephone integration. And when the salesperson click here, it will dial in the customer's business phone or mobile phone based on the configuration. It will dial in and your call get connected. So once this is done, the salesperson mark this as complete. Yeah, what's my next item actually? So that item is gone. So now after 1 day, after that, system will automatically send an email to the customer. And once that is done, it will wait for 3 days and it will create another activity for you and it will display here actually based on the due date, correct? So that is done. So that's my sales accelerator opportunity, activity is gone. So that is, it will show me list of my, now it automatically opened my opportunity because I have only listed opportunities here. So it will show me all my list of activities here, show me how many completed. Recently, I just completed an activity, a phone call is done. Now email is due by today, 6/24, correct? So I need to, before this time, I need to send an email to the customer. Then I click on email, select a template, put the content and click on done, like email is sent. And then it will run a reminder for 3 days. It will do a follow-up call, email again. It will create a phone call activity based on the email I sent to the customer. So this is basically a concept. You can build your own kind of sequence, multiple sequence for lead and opportunity. Select your data, like your leads and opportunity, and connect this to your sequence actually. And it will order based on the timeline, based on the due date. It will show you the list of all the activity due date activities pending for a salesperson on the timeline actually. So there's more of a that is about sales accelerator. If I go to auto capture, we have two new options added here recently. Activity suggestion is coming. If you go to contacts, you'll get based on the recent activity done on the contact account leads opportunity, you'll get the suggestion done. Suggestion mean what is the best possible, what is the latest email you got from the customer, what is the I would say phone call is pending, or this kind of suggestion basically more of correct. And if I go to contact, so once the installation is done, your system is connected to Office 365 and your Exchange Office 365 and D365. So if email comes in and you don't have contact, system it automatically gives you an option to create a contact because you don't have contact here right now. So I'm just going to give you a quick update. If your sales insight is failing or you want to connect your Office 365 Exchange to get the data on the contact suggestion, just go to settings in your admin center settings, and in the admin settings, and click on Sales Insight Analytics. Click on Configure, and it will just connect your Office 365 to get a contact suggestion actually. So what is contact? As I mentioned actually, so take an example. Before contact suggestion, I received an email from a customer which don't have contact created here right now. It's a salesperson choice whether he wants to create a contact or not using D365, sorry, Outlook app for D365. But right now with this feature, if you received an email from an unknown person and you don't, so system will give you a suggestion list of all the available contacts you can create coming from your email engine or Exchange Online, correct? So take an example, I select this record as a contact, and so system will ask me, do you want to save this contact as a contact, correct? It's contact suggestion as a contact. I would say yes, it will remove from the list and save this person to add to my contact list actually, correct? So rather you do manually, it's give you more proactive information to have list of unknown emails and you don't have any contact found. Do you want to create or not? Then you can choose you want to edit the save. If you want to do any modification here and then edit and save, you can do that. So let's say right now, first name and last name is, it doesn't look good. So I would say to remove the first name, last name, first name, and then add my contact to my list, correct? So I can do this kind of option in the D365. So apart from that, yeah, that's a contact association. So apart from that, I just want to do more of a opportunity side. So same thing, what you can do, let me go back to my opportunity. So as I mentioned, similar thing you can do for your opportunity. So select a couple of opportunities here, connect to your sequence. It will show you a list of all the opportunities sequence for the opportunity. Select one of the sequence and then show you the list steps and all this related information. You can click on connect. It will connect your sequence to the opportunity actually. So yeah. So let's go to settings and my sequence. These functionalities in the preview, general preview. It's not generally available right now. It's in the preview. So might be there is a couple of changes will come up in future, but as of now, it's working perfectly. Yeah. So you have list of all the opportunity connected. So let's go to my sales accelerator. I would see like more activity added because I added more opportunity to my sequence actually, correct? So the more opportunity and the lead data you pump in your sequence, you'll see a list of all, as a salesperson's list come up, like it's keep increasing, correct? Because they have so many due activities pending for opportunity leads for a salesperson, correct? So this kind of, you can connect the data in different things. If I go back to the sales insights, as I mentioned, actually, you'll get a similar kind of sales insights relationship insight dashboard within the form, as you can see on the contact account form. So it will show me a list of my conversation going on. I just chose the wrong data, that's why it's showing. But yeah, it's just give you more information analysis on what's going on, health about the customer, correct? So with that, I just want to move quickly to conversation intelligence, and then if you have any questions, we can go ahead and that. So as I mentioned initially, you have one more option. Just want to give you a quick reminder. So right now, what we covered, we just saw the out-of-the-box free version. We just checked a couple of new things, advanced feature of the sales accelerator, more of insights about the sales, and then conversation intelligence. It's other system. So you just need to go to salesai.dynamics.com. It will just open a conversation intelligence for you. So with sample data, you can get like similar kind of dashboard what we have right now, but or you can connect with your environment. Once you connect with your environment, you need to go to Azure and create a Azure blob storage actually, which will save your recording for your phone call activities done based on from your agent to customer. I would say from your salesperson to customer, correct? So like it will show you like out of the box dashboards, Very similar we have in calls insights. I'm going to show you in a couple of in about 30 to 45 minutes. And then it basically gives you positive, neutral, negative discussion, like more of a sentiment analysis by customer or what customer is looking for based on the keywords. You can put like keywords here. You can go to settings and you can put your settings. In the settings, you can put your more of a keyword, what kind of keywords you want to track. And based on that, it will give you the trend analysis, what's going on, correct? It's very similar to what we have in older product called sales and social engagement, Microsoft Social Engagement. But that software connects to multiple software platform, and based on the keywords, give us the information what people are doing, conversation, what kind of conversation going on to the social media. But this is more of a phone call, like more of a natural language processing queries will be done, and how many words will be like your product or services word will be captured or used by your salesperson during a phone call with a prospect or for a customer, and what, so you can do this kind of analysis. Track competitor. If you're having a conversation with a customer, they say, no, I'm going to another your direct competitor, not you, because of pricing or something else. You can get information about what it's more I'm losing my customer because of pricing or some other factors, correct? So you can get more of a competitive analysis here. It's more of your branding actually you can use. So you can use this kind of set you all the kind of keywords here, and it gives you a dashboards very similar looks like here. And you can use it gives you like these are out of the box dashboards, average talk to listen ratio, how many times your salesperson is talking or rather listening. So what kind of analysis? So when you do a first time call to understand the requirement, salesperson should listen more than talk less. And then second call, actually, when you have, they should talk more, listen less. I would say not listen less, but yeah, talk more and make sure that they are up to the point. And let the customer talking also what the pain points they have to before giving it the right information. You can use the best practices. There's another dashboards we have, so you can get like more of a analysis what's going on when it comes to call detail. If I go to seller information, so it will give you a list of my all salesperson, and I can choose any of the salesperson. It gives you data for me of what that talk to listen ratio, what's the speed of talking, switch per hour, how many times they need to switch. It's basic, and then you have pause before speaking, what's the longest monologue, another thing actually. So it gives you like more of insights. David so is talking too fast in most of the conversation, what I'm doing right now. So yeah, it's this kind of insights you get. It's more of a call per, it's more of sentiment analysis. If you want to go deeper into a call, you can click open. It will open a call for you. So what it's basically do, it call is start from a customer calls in, he say, hello, my person like sales person David told me, okay, this, he just greet the customer. And then actually it goes from here, and it's just talking to he just talked to some competitor, buy this product because of pricing, reasonable prices I mentioned. And he say, okay, because you're a VIP customer, I'll give you 50% each, which is like pretty high for me, correct? So he should say, let's start from 30 and then go to 45 maximum, correct? So this kind of, it creates a natural language processing, a script for you. If I just minimize this, yeah. So, and then actually you can see the conversation. It keeps start from positive, neutral, and negative. And at certain point of time, what's a neutral conversation? What's a positive conversation, correct? So when I click here, it will change, comes the right a script to me actually. So I need to listen, what's the negative here actually? So what it's just not to be honest actually. So you use such kind of negative word actually, which is negative phrase for me. So that's why it's coming as negative sentiment. What's here actually? So you can do analysis on the call done by your agent to a customer. If needed, if you're saving the data, you can even listen the call actually, the whole conversation if you don't want to. So let's say you just want to listen instead of read. the conversation, just go ahead and listen the conversation from here. You can go to the related opportunities. You can see how many related opportunities you have in the system for this customer. So you can see how much impact because of this negative, I would say a couple of percentage, like 10 or 15% negative during the call, how much impact is going to do to my number of opportunities or specific opportunity for this call, correct? So you can get like this kind of analysis. Like we have so many options we have here. You can slice and dice your data in different ways. Yeah. If I go to Teams, it gives you more of a team overview. What's my performance of a team? And so you can do a setup with Redbox. It's another, you need admin permission and another tool you can set up. So yeah, apart from that, I just want to see, as I mentioned, you can go for individual analysis by salesperson wise, or you want to see how my team is doing as a holistic. You can go with different option we have as a analysis on the team basis and see the data. So once you click here, it will show you list of data coming from the source. It's coming from basically Azure Blob where you stored your conversation. So if I give you this the implementation methodology, you create a sales accelerator, which gives you calling point. Salesperson clicks here, he calls go in to the customer based on the phone. It basically start the conversation, and you are using SIF actually. You can use SIF channel integration framework to connect the system, like connect your phone call, like phone D365 to a phone, and then store your phone call conversation to the Azure Blob and connect with your conversation system and see what kind of conversation my salesperson is doing with my customer, correct? So that is the whole scenario you can run. I'll just move quickly back to my presentation. Yeah, apart from demo, I just recently published a couple of blogs on the sales accelerator. So you can go ahead and just reach me out here. You can just go to medium.com and search for me. And if you have any question, you can just write an email to me on the sales accelerator side. I will be happy to help you. Right. So yeah, apart from that, any questions you have? We have about 20 minutes before we start another session.
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you for that a great demo of the Sales Accelerator. So for many of you, you're probably wondering, there's many different applications. Things have changed a lot since the old days of Dynamics, where there was just a sales module, and now there are so many. So first of all, everyone's really, thanking you for your session. Harry says, Ashish, well done. So make sure you connect with Harry. Diane is also answering some questions related to the sales insights. Right. Okay. So I think is a licensing question. It says, conversation intelligence. Yeah, is only part of sales insights. So basically, what Diane is saying is that currently conversation intelligence is only part of sales insights. But yeah, currently it's not available in customer service. So for many of the Otto is also saying, obviously Diane's being fantastic, but yes, Ashish, are you able to complement to those people in terms of, you mentioned at the beginning of the session the differences between the different applications, and I think that was a good point at the beginning, but in essence, I mean, with all this multitude of applications, where does one begin? There's all these separate applications now. So what would you advise people who are beginning to build a sales solution? What would you advise to them?
So I would say actually you can, if I start just go to my top presentation. So here we have, as I mentioned, actually you can start with a sales basic license actually, and based on the license, you'll get sales assistant, auto capture, and the email engagement, correct? So you can start with that, but if you want to go for more analysis, like more of a relationship insights, actually node analysis, predictive scoring, and for forecasting and all these things, you can go for another version. But right now, as I mentioned, actually a couple of years back, Microsoft, their Sales Insight is a separate product. It's out of CRM, but slowly Microsoft bring in the system inside the CRM, inside the CRM, and based on the data is connected very seamlessly actually. So you'll not at any point of time as a salesperson or an end user and not feel okay, he's just moving back and forth between two systems. What we have to do right now in the customer service insights. So customer service insight also Microsoft is planning to bring in the data similar to sales insights, what we are going to show you in a couple of minutes. But yeah, I would say you can start with the free version, and then slowly based on the requirement, you can enhance your you can go for the sales insight, the higher version. Actually, there's a couple of features is in the preview. For sure, the conversation intelligence is in the preview right now. This accelerator and this is in the preview. It will be available soon actually, but at least for the if you want to do a hands-on analysis and all these things, you can go ahead and do that actually right now.
And another topic that was mentioned was about LinkedIn Navigator, and where does that fit into this?
So basically, so take an example. If I see who knows whom, correct? So if I don't have actually a slide for that, but it's basically when you go to this D365 form, let me show you quickly. Yeah, if I go to D365 and let's open any opportunity or lead, correct? Oh, sorry, it was there. So it will show me actually relationship between my contact connects to how many person, correct? So and who's the influencer in that company. So it gives you like so this data is coming from the say relationship. I would say relationship sales, which is like LinkedIn integration. So you can get, so this is, if I talk about two different systems, LinkedIn integration gives you more analysis about what kind of what preference your customer have, and what customers, where your customer is working, what's the name of the company, what they do, and all these things. But when it comes to relationship between me and my customer, LinkedIn is a part, but based on the different activity I'm doing with my customer during day to day, it gives you insights about and give you more information based on the score and relationship, correct? So like my relationship is not going good actually for this customer, so because I'm not doing any activity for this customer. So I would say both system has their own actually set of requirements, but if you start, I would say you can go for sales insights to understand and give more empower to your salesperson to maintain a relationship for the future and for now for customers and prospect. But if you talk about the LinkedIn, it gives you more information about for sure about the contact and the person and the company actually, correct? So it's a two different factor you can use. Yeah.
Great.
So with this actually, if you go to person settings, as I mentioned, the card, you can use the auto capture. Like this is already done because I'm using the higher version. You should see an option for install a LinkedIn here. Yeah, here we go. So you can actually go and integrate your, like enable LinkedIn integration based on the license. It's called relationship sales, yeah. And you can choose what kind of information you want to capture. So based on the Sales Navigator, the LinkedIn one, you can auto qualify the newly qualified leads, custom fields. Actually, you can manage the productivity tool. You can do more of a business card scanning and all these things. And for sure, the chat integration is already there, but you can use the more of a analysis what's the contact is doing. So take an example, once the contact move from one company to another, you can change the same in your CRM. So yeah, it's more of a relationship sales, but yeah, insights is pretty powerful. It gives you like it gives you insight of, I would say, more of predictive data, or improve your productivity based on the activities you are doing in the system actually.
That's right. And One more thing that Diane mentions is it says, keep in mind if you're integrating Sales Navigator with Dynamic CE, you need to turn this on both in CE and in Sales Navigator.
Yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. So on the topic of the value of you know, solutions such as Sales Navigator, really is people may wonder, well, what is the ROI? You know, how do you actually measure the ROI of such an application? And I guess it's difficult to do that, but I think the fundamental really is the fact that a lot of wasted time goes into trying to check where a candidate is in their journey and touching and feeling their sentiment to begin to understand where they live in that life, in that cycle, in that journey. And I guess that's where the Sales Insights steps in and really helps you triage and helps you prioritize where you need to spend your time more effectively on the candidates. So basically, in short, that when it comes to you know, for small implementations, I wouldn't really see there's much value in a product like this. The value is when you're working with obviously very large organizations, and they have lots of sales staff, and those sales staff have a very large turnaround when of potential prospects, and it's hard to be able to build a relationship with all your prospects, isn't it? I mean, building relationships might be easy for individuals, but when you've got so many prospects on a mass scale, how are you supposed to prioritize those relationships? So this is where a product like this steps up and helps save your organization resources when it comes to the efforts of your workforce, how they spend their time, because those man hours, obviously you have to pay for those man hours. And if you can implement a product like this intelligently, then essentially you can get quite a large ROI, whereby less time is wasted in chasing candidates up or trying to find out what they're up to when it's there at your fingertips. Is that something you would agree or disagree with, Ashish?
Yeah, that's correct. So I would say actually for any of my customer, if I go for sales, I would just turn on actually the basic version. And for sure, like most of the customer going for relationship, like Sales Navigator relationship assistant. So based on that, actually, they'll get when they start pumping that. Initially, they don't have data, so insights will not give you more proper decision-making power. Like it's showing you blank data what we have right now in my screen. But once you have variety of data, actually, it gives you more insights coming from the CRM. Actually, correct. And even with dashboards and also all my implementation right now, I just empowering. And I don't remove actually the sales insight form from the system, because at any point of time when they switch the application, they can see, okay, they'll see, okay, that's pretty good actually. And I'm getting the diverse information coming from different source and more of engagement sites from my data actually, correct. So it's just my approach, but yeah, and it's pretty useful, and customer appreciate because they don't know, and we should provide them the right tool and what they're looking for. Correct. I can see if they come as, okay, Microsoft has some tool called this, rather we implement and we know how to do that, we just enable. And right now most of the stuff is just a quick implementation, like checkbox on and off, and based on that it will be ready for your use actually. Yeah,
great stuff. So are there any pain points when it comes to implementing Sales Insights? Are there any pain points that people should be aware of before going ahead with implementing this?
So I would say there is not a pain point actually, but it depends on, right? So take an example in Insights. If I talk about the forecasting, we have two different tools actually, like one of a goal and forecast. So it depends on whether customer focus on the goals actually, or they want to go for false forecast. you can implement based on the requirement. So forecasting, as Dan explained a couple of hours before, it's more of a tool where in each opportunity, if I change the form, I'll get an option once I install the forecast. What kind of category forecast belongs to it? The pipeline, best case, committed, omitted, won, lost, actually. So based on the selection and based on person's target, it basically give me the forecasting modeling, actually, correct? So yeah, so that is the one thing. But when it comes to sales insights, actually, email engagement, I just want to more focus on the email engagement because that is more powerful to make sure that we should let customer know whenever you're sending an email for a follow-up date or something like that, correct? So system will read that date and give you a insights. Okay, do you want to create a task for this, or if they're sending an email from CRM, it basically. So let's talk about sorry for this, but it basically gives an option. You can choose for system will create an activity for you, or you manually do it based on the conversation. So let me open that email quickly, show you. Yeah. So when you're sending an email to a customer, you can choose, do you want to do a follow-up for this? Do not follow up. Or do you want to set a reminder at a same point of time when you're sending an email, you can set a reminder after a certain date, create an activity and remind me that if customer don't reply or do like if they not open the email or something like that, correct? If customer replied and you want to have a phone call activity, need to create it by system or you'll do it manually, just put some date and all, and it will automatically read the date and give you a blue link, which I showed you initially a couple of minutes before. Click on that link. It will ask you to create a new task or phone call, actually, correct? So you can do this kind of, it's a quick features actually, but it's very powerful when it comes to optimizing the system and giving more power to the salesperson, actually. Yeah. And yeah, apart from that, we have like more options like this, which is there from a couple of months now. How many times you open an email, how many time attachment will be open, clicks and all these things. These options are coming, is there from marketing, Dynamics marketing from initial, but now it's more embedding to the sales functionality. Actually, it's not limited to marketing. When you're sending an email to a prospect, you'll see what's the activity they are doing to your email, whether they're opening, unique clicks, not opening, and all these things. Now this kind of insights coming to everywhere in CRM. Any other question you have?
So another question is, I don't see an overview sub area on my app setting. Where can I get it? And oh right, that setting at the bottom.
You need to go to sales insight setting, actually.
Yeah, so I don't see the overview. So okay, so you're not seeing that. Saritas, what version are you on? Because this is the unified interface.
Yeah, I'm in the latest version, actually. It's 9.1 and it's enabled for 2020 wave 1, actually.
Yeah. So Saritas, first of all, I would ask, what are you actually using unified interface yet? And also make sure you're enabled for the release, so you can see the correct navigation appearing.
Yeah.
So the final thing really, Ashish, is about the nature of salespeople. As you know, salespeople they tend to not like to use desktop applications. They like to use their mobile devices to complete their daily tasks. How have you seen the adoption of sales insights and accelerators for those salespeople who prefer just to use their mobile apps?
Yeah. So in the mobile app, actually, if you're using, you have an option called Assistant. And there you see all your notifications coming from Assistant, actually. So it will give you like very similar option. Like you have 9 reminders, so you have insights coming up. So this similar view is coming on the mobile phone actually. Initially it was car actually, but now it's more of assistant. So when a salesperson opened the phone, I recently done an implementation of a sales insights where a salesperson just click on that notification after login to the mobile app, and they'll see all the reminders with the due dates and the insights they are coming from the system actually. So either they can just dismiss the notification, or they can go ahead and call the customer. So let's say for this, they'll click here. Do you want to complete the call or close the call? But on the phone, if you open the accelerator, you'll get an option to click on that blue button, and it will dial a call for your customer to your customer for this opportunity. So
You
it's pretty
see,
good. Yeah.
Ashish, I have to tell you something. This experience right here is definitely a game changer from
Yeah.
the previous experience. The common challenges that these agents have is working through their daily tasks. And if you are able to work through each task and see the record from the perspective of the task, this is obviously going to really improve their productivity, really. And I think this is a key UI improvement that's really going to drive the adoption and help them work through their workloads, really.
Yep. Yeah, that's correct. Actually, if you see if you go to either for omni-channel or this kind of stuff where you need multiple screen, like if you see the screen, we have like one. If I even if minimize this, I don't have any option to minimize this, but I need to see the record. So it's preferred to use a desktop or a bigger, like I would say, the tablet instead of using phone. But you can use different device actually in order to run this actually. Yeah. So, but I just so what happened? Like one of my salesperson asked me, my UI doesn't look good in the sales accelerator in the phone. Actually, I would say instead of using the phone, you can go for tablet. But yeah, for doing this kind of stuff, but just dialing the phone, random phone call, you can use this assistant, and based on the reminder, do the call actually. But if you want to use this feature, you need bigger screen, like because we have so much information coming. Rather on the phone, you have to scroll right down, up and down. It's like really frustrating sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need to give Ashish a few minutes break so that you can obviously gather yourself for the next session.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ashish to gather himself and to prepare for the next
Yeah.
session. Obviously,
Sure.
we want to thank everyone. The flavor of the month there is what everyone's raving about right now, and so now is a good time to Thank you so much, Ashish. Once again.
Raj, can you hear me?
Hi.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So let me start my share session. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. So thank you, everyone. I'm going to continue, and this is the session for customer service insights and the Power Virtual Agent. How we can empower our customer service module to give end-to-end, I would say, end-to-end perfect or better experience to our customer based on this department, actually, correct? As a couple of hours before, Tricia explained us the customer insights. I'm going to focus right now on the customer service insights and the Power Virtual Agent. So we already covered the customer service insights, customer insights, and a couple of other things, correct? So what is basically power of AI in customer service? As we know, as Tricia explained us, the customer service, customer insights actually more of a powerful tool where you do the unification, connects your data to multiple systems, get the 360 customer view and more of a preference and all these things, and it gives you like so customer will feel more personalized experience based on the data coming from, and you're giving the right information on the right time, correct? Where customer service insights more of focus tool to the customer service module, which connects directly to Dynamics 365 Customer Service Hub, a model-driven app, and you can connect your case resolution, gives you more insights about the topics, and based on the topics, you can empower your bot, the Power Virtual Agent. So take an example. Today I'm taking a scenario for wireless company. So let's say because of COVID, everyone is working from home, and so many people are facing wireless Wi-Fi issue. Either the speed is not good, they have a payment issue, or something like that. Correct? So based on this topic, customer comes in, customer call their provider, their local provider, and say, okay, my wireless issue, this and that, a variety of wireless issue. Correct? So these are the topics, and then you can use your data granularity and put at this topic connects you can actually club all this topic related to wireless and empower your bot, so whenever any new customer comes in to your website related to wireless issue, they can actually go through all the requirements. Like they can understand, okay, they'll get the multiple selection based on the topic you created, correct? So, and it increased the customer satisfaction for sure. And I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes. So technically, if I say customer insights, so customer insights right now, it's a tool outside D365. You don't have to connect 100%, as Tricia mentioned, to D365 in order to get the data. You can connect to any system. But down the line, Microsoft is working, and the roadmap will be they are planning to connect customer insights to you can connect customer insights to any of the system. Take an example, make the system as vendor insights, connect your vendor data, make it as employee insight, connect your employee data. So it's more of a centralized insight tool. You can connect any kind of data and gives you more powerful insights about the tool actually, correct? Like if you connect to customer, vendor, employee, etc., correct? But right now it's very focused to customer. So, but yeah, you can see the couple of drastic changes coming up, and customer service insights. So as I mentioned, actually, a couple of minutes before, initially, for the sales insights, Microsoft has their own tool. Now the sales insight inside the D365. You don't have to move the application, turn around to get the insight about the system. Everything is embedded, so properly embedded in the form. You just need to switch your form, or within the form, you'll get insights about your customer, contact, lead, opportunity, and etc. Similar thing is going to do in the customer service insights. So for a case, for the knowledge base, and for other channels, chat, BV, and all, you can get all information coming from different sources in your customer service hub application. Correct. And then you have Power Virtual Agent, which basically it's another part of Power Platform family. So you have Power Apps, Power Virtual Agent, Power Automate, and all these things, which includes Power Virtual Agent actually. So based on these couple of tools, you can connect and empower your bot to help the customer with the latest topic. So yeah, as I mentioned, actually, that's your Power Platform. You have, as many of us know, about what comes in which location, and we have business application, which where the data sits in common data services, and you have multiple insights coming from the common data services. But it's not only depending to common data services. You can connect to customer insights to your a third-party tool, correct? If you have data sitting in your some other entity or some other custom entity or other system, you can connect with Power Apps, create a custom entity, connects the data to customer service insights, and it'll give you the insights coming from your custom entities, not from the case, correct? So yeah, so let's move ahead. Why I want to touch base to these topics actually. So as we know, Power Virtual Agent is pretty powerful. It's developed on top of Azure Cognitive Services, more of natural language processing languages. It's built on top of bot framework, where you have channels, where you have multiple devices you can connect, where you can put your skills to the bot framework. And with this bot framework, it gives you, it empowers to Power Platform, where you can connect your Power Virtual Agent to the multiple application available in the Power Platform. And we have on the right side hundreds of connectors are available to give more empower to the Power Platform. And then on top of, you have Power Virtual Agent, where you can connect with Power Apps, flows, and do the automation. You can connect with framework skills. If you have existing bot, you can connect and empower your bot with the new skills actually. So recently bot framework skills are added to the Power Virtual Agent. You can connect this and do some action like schedule an appointment, cancellation of some task, some activity, or some kind of information, correct? So that is more of adding a skills. And with no code, Microsoft is going for no code, low code. With no code, you can add any kind of skills to your Power Virtual Agent and empower your bot. So yeah. Then apart from that, we have from bot to human handoff actually, which Tricia explained, and I'm going to show you as one of the channel. You can actually, out of the box way, you can transfer your bot chat, like when a customer starts a chat to your bot, Power Virtual Agent, you can at any point of time when they want to connect or end of your topic, you can transfer the chat to the live agent to your Omnichannel. So if you see customer, this tool is a customer service strategy, I would say. You have customer service, where customer calls in, send an email, do any kind of use any kind of channel, you reach your customer service, then you have multiple case created there. And based on the topic or the case title, you are getting the data in your customer service insights. And based on the granularity, you can empower your bot to help the customer with the latest topic, right? And then bot basically initiate the chat for a customer either from website or phone or Teams or any other channel. And then actually, if required, it will transfer a chat to a live agent. So if you see your case is coming from a channel, it's end-to-way another channel. It's called Omnichannel experience. At any point of time, your customer is switching between one channel to another channel, correct? So initially the Microsoft, the tool was only focused to multi-channel, but now it's more become an omni-channel kind of tool. So yeah, you have profiles actually on top of it, and which basically based on the unification process, you get the customer data, and then we have cases, which actually gives you more insights about the case, not very focused to the customer. So if you club both the system and empower your bot, it gives you more actionable insights. So you can empower your bot to handle the right customer with the right topic and the right information at the right time, right? Yeah, that's a pretty good slide actually. I used to my presentations. It's more of a engagement strategy actually, correct? We have self-service portal. The higher you go in on the like on the pyramid, your wait time will increase, your operational cost will increase, and your implementation cost will increase for sure. So we have self-service portal, which like Power Apps portal. Go implement basic implementation connected to 365. Customer comes in, creates a case, done. Then we have bots actually, which your Azure bot, you have a Power Virtual Agent kind of bot, correct? It basically takes quick time, turnaround time, less wait time, and less cost to operation cost actually to maintain this kind of bot. Then you have a live agent. You need to keep people actually live agent sits in your system and do the chat for a customer to a customer. It increases the waiting time because you have limited number of people. Customer need to wait more in order to their number comes in the queue, correct? And then you have an agent voice actually, which is more expensive. Need a certain device. You have to need certain policies and all these things, and increase the wait time as you go to the pyramid actually. So if you see like that's the pretty good model, I would say it improve your customer experience. If you see like a voice agent is the last step right now. So everything start from self-service. If you go to any website, they try to handle your issue with their FAQs, with their self-service and the thing, their communities and all these things. And then it introduced by a bot actually. Initiate a chat, handle for a couple of minutes or a couple of topics by a bot. If you want to do a live agent, then it will introduce the live agent. If you're not able to solve that, they create a case and then you call to a customer service on the phone. So that is the last option. So right now, because every company wants to reduce the cost and want to reduce the waiting time for their customer actually. So that's the reason actually that this kind of tool, when it comes to more advanced, powerful automation tool, gives you better customer experience quickly. So I'll go for a demo quickly. So that's a customer service insights. You can go for a trial with the same URL and just need to connect your website. So when you so when you either you can use the sample framework, sample data actually workspace, or you can go for and connect your data365 environment. So that's a welcome page actually. It will show when your last data is refreshed, what's your organization name, how much case collected, what's the discovery of different type of topics, when the last refreshed, and all these things, correct? So it gives you like top topics you have based on the case you created in D365. As I mentioned, the wireless topic, I'm going to show you this scenario here. What's the top resolution time, the longest, and all these things. Like what's the CSAT score based on the feedback customer given us. And like what's the volume actually. So you can do this kind of data mapping actually. So when you go to data mapping, customer service inside here right now you can do as incident as an entity, but you can connect to any custom entity if you have. As I mentioned, you go to Power Apps and then create your custom entity, get the data to custom entity here, get your custom entity here, and then connect to the fields there, which needs. So right now we need minimum case title, created on, resolved on, and priority and all these things actually. So everything is not mandatory. You can select if you want, but there is only case created and title should be there to your custom entity actually. And then you just save and your mapping is done. That's it. It's not very complex like we have very complexity in the customer insights because that is more of modeling tool. Here it's things is already there and you just need to connect to the right topic, right data source, and your system is ready. So yeah, if you want to use a tag, so take an example. Yeah, I'd do this section. Take an example for each case title. You want to make sure that case agent should be used the right tag. So they will use, let's say, wireless, correct, or something like that, and then they put any topic, like whatever they want, because it's just a free text field. So they can use a tag functionality, and based on that tag, you actually they entered in the CRM, you can get the data in your customer service insights. Then you have a topic granularity, which is blue indicates a case and the topic actually. So if you see like why I have variety of case, like diverse cases, so I can go to more general and gives like cover more topic, but I can go to very specific and cover less topic, but give you very specific information. So wireless can be wireless data issue, wireless payment issue, or wireless actually, like wireless can be phone, or wireless home, or wireless for commercial, and all these things, correct? Wireless can be any specific topic, or you want to make it more general, anything, like I would say put on neutral medium, things related to wireless. It's one topic for you to empower your bot. Things related to mobile phone, it's another. Things related to for certain other topic, correct? So this can be a more specific how much how much data you want to cover in the CRM. It's you have an option here. Export data. You can export the data to Excel, which is now it's not available. It will be available soon. You can use the Microsoft connectors. Actually, it's like what we have right now, like connect with Power Logic apps. Actually, will be there right now. You can connect with Power Automate and Power Apps actually at any point of time. Yeah, same for the Power BI. You can use the AI connectors to get your data in your Power BI. So apart from that, you'll get the kit. So that's the main screen, I would say. In the customer service insights, it gives you more on the topics. You have various filter option. You can go for the dates, product wise, channel, business unit, assigned teams, and all these things actually. So right now, as you can see, I have wireless data, 8 case created, and which like volume is 24% of my total cases. And what's the emerging topic actually, I can see like it should be, it's coming, and I have to empower my bot soon. So you can drill down more of information. It's pretty straightforward information giving us the new cases, resolve one, resolve ratio, and all these things. So, and then we have new cases here. It's like more of a information coming from CRM. What's your topics, and what's the resolution rate for this case, and what's the average resolve time, and all these things. So if I click on any of this link, it will open a topic for me actually. So right now, as I mentioned, I'm going to use the wireless topic. It's going to show me the analytics for the wireless actually. So it will just cover the wireless topic because I selected very specific one topic. It showed me, okay, I have 8 cases, resolution is done for 3, no escalation, select compliant 4, and different other things, correct? I would say it's pretty bad data, but I'm just explaining you the concept so you can build your own this kind of features. So if you see here, the topic case competition, case created from email is active. Quit Twitter are active actually. Case created from web, it's more of a resolve something, but yeah, it's still like it's in the active stage and resolve stage. But case created from mostly from web, mostly are escalated actually. So people are going to the website or coming to a self-service portal. Or you can add one more. It's origin as case, sorry, a chat actually, correct, which is not here. So you can identify for which kind of case created from which specific origin. It's what's the state of that case, correct? Are they resolved, not resolved? So this kind of more of competition yet. So if I go to, let me go to my KPIs screen, and let's connect the bot actually. So yeah, I'll click on the topic, and it will give me an option like as I mentioned, you'll get the analytics here, and there is something called as automate. Either you can go to analytics and connect to Power Virtual Agent, or you can go to cases. You can select your specific case and connect to the Power Automate. Let me see, where's my cases? Okay, let me search with wireless. Okay, it's not coming up, fine. So, but you can actually click on the Power Automate, and it will open a topic for you and give you the phrase actually. So right now, I think I selected the wrong topic. That's the reason it's showing me the product specific information. But if let me quickly do that. Let me go to wireless. Sorry about this, but I'm going to see. Oh yeah, I selected the wrong topic actually. Sorry for this, but I need to select the wireless topic, which I'm going to show you right now, and then it will give me a list of all my cases related to wireless, correct? And then you can click on the Power Automate button here from the Customer Service Insights, and it will create a topic for you. So what it'll do based on the case title, it will suggest you a couple of topics. But if you want, you can create your own entry or trigger phrases from the to the Power Virtual Agent, correct? So now it will show you where the topic is coming from is as a description. What's the name? You can rename this if required. You can go to authorizing canvas and create your own topic actually. So I'm not going to show you like creation of whole thing, but I'm going to show you a quick functionality here. So I connected this topic to the customer service insights. So let me open this customer wireless data already connected, and I use wireless speed, wireless Wi-Fi issue, and all these phrases for the entry point. Then I go to the Canvas app. Sorry, to more of a canvassing my topics. So I'll choose here. That's my trigger phrase. I can choose any question. So you can choose a question. You can choose. Let me read that. You can choose a question. You can choose an action. You can choose a message. Just a message. Question will be it can be a more of a multiple choice, or it can be age, or this kind of more of a field actually. Enter your email ID, enter your first name, enter your last name, this kind of thing, correct? So this coming from the entity, so you can create your own entity. They call it as entity. I know it's pretty different, but yeah, you can create your own entity and display as the identification point, correct? So take an example. At point of time, you want to take customers fax number, correct? So you'd say you create a new entity X fax and attach this to your as a question. So when enter your fax, so your customer will enter the fax, the data is stored in that specific entity actually. So take an example for the email, correct? So that is that's a concept you can use when you are building your bot. So let me minimize this. Yeah, you can do more of a UI kind of thing, adjust the UI when you have multiple one topic, many branches and all these things. So let's say I took the wireless as a scenario. I used how can I help you? Just put a question, multiple choice. I put some straightforward things here. Billing, I'm not going to do anything here. Not going to do technical support. You can connect like add more option, end of a conversation, end with survey, or end with transfer to agent, correct? Or you can show message, call an action. Call an action, basically, you can create a flow and transfer this chat or send an email to your customer service or technical support department. Okay, contact this customer having an issue, correct? So you can do this kind of thing actually. Or what I'm going to do, I just elaborate the plan usage. If a customer choose this, we'll show this 3 option here. And if customer choose plan detail, we'll show these option. Once this is done, I would say is it something, was this helpful? Like I would say like 95% people using the same slang. Was this helpful? They'll say yes. Customer, like we are sending a survey and a conversation with the survey. Or if the customer say no, it's not helpful, I would say transfer to the agent. So then we are using the handoff process. So how the handoff process works, you can click to talk to agent and then just follow the simple steps. It's a pretty straightforward implementation, like configuration, I would say. You can click choose either your custom bot framework, engagement hub, or you can use their environment with Omnichannel customer engagement already installed, correct? So you can choose that environment. You need to add app ID actually. So app ID basically just if you have app ID created in your Azure for Power Virtual Agent, use the same. If you don't, just click create a Power Virtual Agent app ID and put the app ID here and you are good, correct? So let me show you quickly how the things will work. Yeah, sorry. Let me start the conversation from here. Let's say hi, correct? And system will give me like basic introduction, like basic creating options. And then I would say wireless, correct? So this is done, which is like my initial phrase. You can change this phrase because now it's not showing here because I have not starting my phrase for this topic. It's just general phrase for every topic. I can have multiple topic in one bot, correct? So you can even track between the topic, correct? So you have an option if you want to test multiple topics, you can track between the topics and it will give an option. So when I choose this wireless, it choose my topic and I have like 4 options. I'll choose plan option, plan usage. Now you can run this based on this trigger at any point of time, add a trigger as flow or add power apps and do different stuff, correct? Yeah, so when I choose yes, when I choose this plan detail, it choose this topic and give me an option. Was this helpful? Yes or no? I would say no, it's not helpful. So then basically it will show me transfer to an agent, correct? And now you see transfer to agent action was triggered. So if I go to context variable, when you actually configuring Power Virtual Agent to, or basically connecting, handoffing your Power Virtual Agent to an Omnichannel live chat agent, you just need to do a small configuration and it will be done. Like when you have in the Omnichannel, you have something called, I would say, the work-based structure. Like, I'm sorry, actually, I'm just forgetting that. Oops, sorry for this. Yeah, so it's basically, technically, it show me an option to, yeah. So you just need to create a variable. It's called work stream because, sorry, work distribution. I'm sorry, I was just forget the word. So it's called work distribution because Omnichannel works based on the work distribution model. As Tricia explained, is based on the capacity, how much the capacity each user has. So if you want your company, one agent should do one channel at a time. You do your workspace, like I would say, your capacity for user and capacity for your space will be the same, actually, correct? If you're using a different, you can choose a different capacity. So it based on the work distribution and the capacity, it's the Omnichannel works in. So what you can do, you can create a quick context variable as scope, VA underscore scope, which is virtual agent underscore scope, and create that variable to the bot actually, which what will do, it will create a virtual agent user in your D365 Omnichannel, and you can connect this way you can create your own queue, or you can use out of the box queue, and you can complete the handoff process from Power Virtual Agent to the bot actually. So as I mentioned initially, it's the customer service strategy Microsoft is focusing right now. I would say like before this release, there was only 3 channels which Microsoft was working on, Omnichannel: Facebook, SMS, and the chat. With this release, we have many channels added, right, including the WhatsApp and other things, correct? So, and at the end of this year, there is many channels coming up actually to empowering the Power Virtual Agent capabilities, correct? Because Microsoft, I would say, when it comes to Power Virtual Agent, sorry, Omnichannel, it's a pretty light application, and it's very powerful when it comes to the live chat. Right now, you have very limited options to do the customization, but in future you can use the SIP integration, and with the APIs available, you can connect and build your own pretty good customer service live chat tool. Correct. So that is a handoff process you can use. You can use any other like conversation ID, last phrase. You can use this as context variable and different other things. Correct. You can use the bot ID if you want. But technically, when you connect the bot with your handoff done, with the scope, bot ID will be automatically captured in the Omnichannel. So that is the one channel you can publish your bot. There is a couple of other channel I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes. So once your bot is done, you just need to publish your bot and then click on configure a channel. So either you can use the demo website. It will just show you a quick website actually. You can copy this and quickly open. It will just initiate a good looking website actually. And either you can start the text from here or you can use the phrase from here. Correct, hello, and it'll just use the same way what you're using. And sorry, yeah, and then basically that's one of the channel actually. If you want to embed, you can embed the bot to custom website actually. So as Tricia and multiple people explain actually, you can connect this Power Virtual Agent to Omnichannel, and within the one, I would say one chat widget, you can initiate the chat. So take an example, I would say I'll start the chat. Oops. And then initially, once my chat started, if you have if your bot is connected to the Omnichannel, your bot initiates the chat actually. So it say hi. It will, my bot will initiates a chat, and you can use continue the chat, like customer will continue the chat. So that is another chat option you have. So or you can directly embed this chat, I would say your bot to the CRM, to the form actually. So give me a minute. I'm just going to quickly sign in. I'm sorry for this actually, but yeah, I usually keep signing actually, but yeah, some time it takes. So I'm going to show you how you can embed the chat. Sorry for this. Yeah, I'm going to show you how you can embed the chatbot to the Microsoft case form or any D365 form actually. So you simply go to solution. I just refresh this and it open. So you just simply open a case and create a new section. Let me open and show you the quick functionality here. So you can choose the entity. You can use the new version in Power Apps, or you can use the older one. So yeah, I'll open my case form. And then what I need to do, before copying or adding a chat widget there, sorry, the bot widget, I just need to copy this URL. Just use the iframe URL. That's it. And yeah, I already added a Power Virtual Agent tab here. Just need to simply add a new iframe. Go to insert, click on iframe. It will just give you an option to add your URL. Add your URL there. Put some name and pass the unique identifier and click on yes. That's it. You don't have to do anything else apart from that. Just like a couple of 2 to 3 things, and you are done with the Power Virtual Agent embedded in your form. You can use more of a UI kind of thing, like you can more of make form pretty good with the basic out of the box configuration, but your bot is ready right now from the form actually. So if you're using bot for your internal purpose, you can embed the chat, the bot framework here, and yeah, bot, I would say not framework, but yeah, bot widget here to the form, and it will be for your internal use. Yeah. Apart from that, you can use, as many of us using in the mobile app, you can use the mobile application, which is native. You can use the Facebook, your Teams, Microsoft Teams actually, Slack, and other third-party tool actually. You can even send an email to customer from the bot actually. So we have multiple channel you can do. So these are the option you have. And apart from that, let me see what else I'm missing. Yeah, apart from that, let me go back to my call integration. Yeah, so that is another tool which call insights actually. This tool is also, initially it was in preview, but so it's very similar tool. I would say it's using almost similar kind of data, but it's more of a customer service agent review rather focusing on the salesperson. So this tool is available, comes with customer service license, and right now is in the preview actually. So you can use the case call insights. Just click on that option, enable the option from your customer service insights tool, and this tool is available. So let me see, it's taking too much long. Press the form. So it gives like a very similar experience or very similar data. Data will be different, but obviously, but very similar insights. What would be shown in the conversation intelligence, correct? That is more towards your conversation between your customer and your salesperson. This is more focused conversation going on between your agent and your customer, or anyone actually who is looking for customer service, who's contacting customer service. So very similar experience, but obviously the data will be different. The different type of topics will be there. The different type of analysis reports will be different, but very similar experience. So you can use either of the tool to get the more on the call insight side of it. And similar way to store your data, you need to connect with Azure Blob, and you can connect your data to the Azure Blob. So right now you can connect to your environment. I would say add data source, select my organization, and open the Azure. Connect with put your Azure ID here, data storage ID, telephony string, or data storage ID container string, and then you are done with the storage actually. So that's on the configuration you have to do. And so it's same way if you're using SIF for the telephony integration, you get a call, customer agent takes the call from a customer, and data is stored in the Azure Blob based on the natural language processing. It gives you insights about based on the experience of what customer is facing right now, based on the conversation going on between the customer and agent, and you can select the team. So it's very similar tool Microsoft developed on more on the customer service department focus. And then yeah. So any question do you have right now, or I can continue? No question? Okay. So yeah, apart from that, actually, you can continue as a skill framework, bot framework. Actually, you can add a skills here, put your skills URL. Actually, you can follow the document if you need more information how to build your own skills. Skills in the sense, take an example, cancel my appointment. You already have a bot, or you want to trigger some action, you can just paste the URL there and click on next, and your skills added to the bot. So if I go to topic, let me see if I can show you quickly. And yeah, obviously you'll get the analytics, dashboards, and all these things. What the customer sees that, how much time customer need to, the bot is not able to answer the question, and the chat need to transfer to the live agent, and all this information. So yeah, if I, let's say, add a topic here, call for action. So either you can use flow, or actually you can use the skills to do the certain action. Actually, right now you can click on the create flow, and you can like trigger any kind of phrase, any kind of scenario you can run there. You can use flow template, create a case. So based on that, system will create a case based on the flow, correct? So you can create any kind of function from here. Yeah, I have not added skills. That's the reason it's not showing. But when you add a skills, you have an option call an action. You can see the skills like cancel appointment, what's the hour, working hour, and all these things. Like any kind of skills you can add, and you can add the skills within the Power Virtual Agent actually. So yeah, I think I covered most of the thing actually. Let me go back to my presentation. Yeah, so a similar thing, you can create your own trial in Power Virtual Agent, and for customer service insights, just go to my blog on medium.com, and you'll get more information on that. I just want to say one thing actually before I just close the session. Recently, like I would say 2 days back, Microsoft launched a new community for Microsoft Power Virtual Agent. It's a separate community right now, and very focused to empower the bot and customer queries, or the people having a query related to Power Virtual Agent. So you can go ahead, use the link. Pretty good option, like pretty good tools. I would say documentation available on the docs.microsoft.com. And you can, yeah, that's the standard website, as Microsoft is focusing on with coming with the sample data and giving it a standard link rather creating your own environments, links, and then hash hyphen, and then actually you can put your topic and you can start from there. Yeah. So create a trial and do your hands-on practice, I would say, and you'll see many features coming up soon in the Power Virtual Agent actually. Yeah, apart from that, if you want to reach out to me, you can contact at any point of time. That's my information. Send an email message, or reach out to me at any other way. Yeah, I think I'm good. Any questions?
Thank you there, Ashish, for that. Really good. It's something that's probably missing from today's sessions, and it really plugged the gap with all the sessions, really. And there are questions, and the both are related to social media. Parag Kishore is asking if you're able to respond to comments on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn from Dynamics from within Dynamics. So he's asking regarding that, and and the second question is also related to capturing comments from social sites. I don't know if that falls in the realm of chatbots, but please feel free to comment on that.
So initially, actually, as I mentioned a couple of minutes before, there was a tool called Microsoft Social Engagement, which is like deprecated right now. You can capture the comments from different systems, but now Microsoft comes in different tools, more of insights, and I would say more of changing our business model towards the insight system. They launched Sales Insight, Customer Service, and all these insights. So there is no direct tool available, but I would say right now it's there is one more tool called Marketing Insights, but they are also deprecating in I think in May 8th, which is like this week. The tool is going to deprecate, and they are more empowering the customer insights actually. So right now, I would say if you asked me this question before a month before, I would say you can go to Marketing Insights. But right now, I would say there is I don't have exact what's the strategy, but I'm pretty sure they are going to empower more on the customer insight side of it actually. Yeah, but yeah, I would say you just need to wait and focus on the documentation going to release soon from Microsoft. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Ashish, for clarifying that point on the social insights. And it says here, Parag mentioning he's heard about Market Insights is deprecated. That's what you mentioned earlier as well.
Yeah, that's correct. No, but so Marketing Insight was there, and it's just going to deprecate. That's the reason. Yeah, they are just going to bring everything to customer insights actually, and as Tricia and multiple people show us today, how the insights are so powerful. It's not only connect your data from social media, but your purchasing power, like not purchasing power, but have more of a preference and all these things coming from POS system and all, and give you one holistic view of data coming from different systems actually. Correct. So yeah, that is select the customer and everything there actually. So very good decision making power it gets in soon.
Fantastic. So are there any other questions for Ashish, or are there any other general questions? General questions related to customer engagement. Because we still have 15 minutes before Raj Babu does his session on field services. Yes, if what I can do is I can leave this channel open for another 15 minutes, just to open up for questions. I'm happy to answer any, but I won't keep Ashish waiting. Ashish, all I can say is thank you so much for delivering these two sessions back to back, and obviously being very generous with your knowledge. So thank you so much for that. And please follow Ashish on social media, on LinkedIn, Twitter. I've shared his LinkedIn contact details. On Twitter, it's Canada365 guy. Yep. So please get in touch with him. And yes, so Saritas says, look, he's really happy. Really happy with your session. Will you share all record on webpage? Yeah. So we'll share all that information for you, Saritas. And Bobby Changles says, great job, Ashish. Thank you for the presentation. Arjun Baba says it was helpful to understand the bot service. Arjun, I know Arjun's a very avid fan of Power Automate, and I'm sure he's looking to get his hands on virtual agents somehow and integrate it with the Power Automate is the glue to virtual agents. So yes, very good insight. Thanks for sharing that, Ashish. That demonstration with the virtual agents.
Yeah, that's correct. I just want to say one thing. Actually, I've just recently completed my couple of presentations, like for actual implementation on the Omnichannel. I would say just focus on this model actually when it comes to implementation or doing any presentation, and it's pretty good actually. It's very powerful, and customer understands if they don't have any channel, how the investment will go and how the strategy should go actually when it comes to making the future planning correct. So that is you can focus, and it gives you like a good relationship, and covers like everything covered with Microsoft product. You don't have to develop something custom application and all. So just use out of the box applications and build whole customer service strategy for any customer.
Spot on, Ashish. Yes. Look, completely agree. That's a very good infographic right there. That shares the cost to an organization, and therefore you can see the value basically. So essentially we can begin to understand an organization if he's sitting at the bottom at self-service / assisted service.
Yeah, that's correct. I completely agree actually.
Questions before we introduce Raj Babu. He will be obviously doing his session on field services. Oops, no question. No one can hear me. 1 second.
Yeah, I think your voice was cutting up actually, and now it's fine. Yeah, I joined my phone.
Thank you so much. Yes, so as I was saying, yep, so everyone's really, Ambesh is really happy, as well as Peter, Frank Peters, and yeah, Harry. Hello there, Harry. Yeah, we're back again. So Harry, yes, we have 10 minutes until the final session, which is with Raj Babu from the USA. He will be doing a session on field services. So today we've covered obviously customer services. We've covered the project service automation, and all the apps in between, such as obviously customer insights, sales insights, virtual agents, chatbots, and yes, now we're left with field services. So what I'd like to do is ask everyone who's still on the call.
Here, Raz. This is Raj.
Hi there, Raj is with us. Yes. So I believe, Raj, if you're happy to start now, I'm sure everyone who's left remaining on the call would be happy if you were to progress. How do you feel? Are you happy to start, or would you like to start in 10 minutes?
I can start, but I just need a change of location here. My neighbor chose to mow the lawn, so I could hear him coming back with the loud noise. So if you can give me 5 minutes, I will change the place to a quieter location and dial back in.
Oh, no problem at all. So, Raj, let's stick to the agreed time.
Okay.
And yes, you take your time. And yes, we'll be here.
All right. I'll be right back soon. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
So yes, so as we were saying, this is the final session remaining now, and I'd like to ask your thoughts, and I'd like to open the channel up. So please feel free to unmute yourselves, and please share any kind of challenges you're facing currently with your current clients when it comes to services, whether it's self-service. Here we go. General question. Can we connect multiple CTIs to one CRM instance to capture cases for multiple businesses under one group? What a question. Parag, you've really gone for the hitting a sixer there, haven't you? You've really gone for the knockout punch. So in short, really, look, it is a complex question because CTI can be quite complex in itself, really, the way CTIs work. So really, you're looking at for multiple businesses under one group. So you're imagining one tenant. So you've got one tenant that's somehow managing multiple businesses, which I've seen has happened in the past. Maybe you have like a B2B relationship. I'm guessing, Parag, that's the situation. You've got one tenant. Is it one tenant? I'm guessing under one group. Does under one group meaning under one tenant, or is it multiple tenants? I don't know. If you could clarify, Parag, if you mean under one group, does that count as one tenant or is it separate tenants? But anyway, so can we connect multiple CTIs to one CRM instance to capture cases for multiple businesses under one group? So let's assume that it's whether it's multiple tenants or one tenant. Let's put that to the side for the time being. With regards to CTIs, you can, well, let's say number one, you can definitely have multiple CTIs under multiple tenants. That's without going. That's a simple one. Under the same tenant, having multiple CTIs. Well, within a same tenant, you can have multiple instances, but let's assume it's the one instance. Why would you want to use multiple CTIs under one instance? Well, imagine you have a scenario where call centers are spread across multiple locations, but sharing the same instance, which I'm guessing is your scenario, Parag. Well, in that scenario, that will basically you could support that. Yes, you can definitely support that, where the clients or the call centers are distributed among multiple locations and they're using different CTI integrations. That's completely fine. Why? Because CTI is often a client-based integration rather than a server-side based integration. So from that perspective, I do believe it can work. There are other complexities that may cause problems, such as inbound phone calls and routing inbound and outbound phone calls. The inbound phone calls being another challenge. But the outbound phone calls, I think, are completely feasible. So that's the main challenge, really, is how you route the inbound phone calls to the multiple CTI channels that you have set up. That can be potentially a challenge, but it is feasible. It is possible. There's just a lot of work to do from your side when it comes to routing the inbound phone calls out to the call center. But I think that's feasible. And then you go on to say to one CRM instance to capture cases. Well, again, to capture cases, it's completely feasible because it's the same instance. And then for multiple businesses under one group, that's what we need a bit more clarity on. So, Parag, you've gone to say, let's assume your company is doing multiple businesses and you wanted to capture customer sentiments through different customer care and capture on one instance. Look, as I said, Parag, that's completely feasible, but there is complexity when it comes to the inbound phone call routing. Outbound, I think it's completely feasible, but there will be an extra layer of architecture you're going to have to add to manage the channel integrations or the CTI integrations to cater for any kind of discrepancies in managing of workflows. But in short, it's completely feasible. I can't see a problem with that. You just have to make sure you program the logic into the application integrations to handle the different regional call centers using the different CTI integrations in place. So that's all under the same tenant, all under the same instance. So yes, so Parag, does that answer your question? Awesome, yeah. And as Angus mentioned, the client setting up client CTIs are, it's not a walk in the park. Often you have to either develop your own or you have to purchase a third-party one. So that is the big challenge. That is the larger challenge than supporting multiple CTIs. But yeah, you need to be able to manage that as being the main challenge. Really, is actually supporting the multiple CTIs in the first place. There are in the omnichannel framework there are some third-party ones available that are ready to use that you can pay to use, or if you want to develop your own, you can do. So yes. So it seems though Raj Babu is back online. Raj, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm ready.
Fantastic. Ready. So Raj Babu is ready to rock and roll. So let's get Raj Babu. Are you able to share your screen? He's muted. Let me unmute him. Raj Babu, you are currently... There you go. Fantastic.
Can you guys hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, perfect. So we are good. Yes. So without further ado, this is my personal first time of meeting Raj Babu. So it'll be great for Raj Babu to introduce himself. And we're all excited to be introduced to yourself and to learn more about you and about your expertise, Raj Babu. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it over to you and give you the platform.
Thank you so much, Raz. I don't know if you remember me or not. I met you a couple of times in New York, Microsoft Office, when we had the D365 Saturday last year.
That's where we met you. That's it. That's correct, Raj Babu. Yes.
Exactly. I was in one of your sessions. Anyway, so all right. Thank you, everyone, for being with us. And yeah, it's been a productive day on a Saturday. So the topic I'm going to present today is D365 field service, day in a life of field service organization. So this is going to be level 100/200. So don't expect anything to be fancy like virtual reality, augmented reality, and all those stuff. The reason I wanted to stay at level 100, level 200 is, when I go and interact with the clients and our other fellow CRM folks, not everyone, but there are, some. So they're still wondering, like, what does this field service features do, and when I go talk to the client, they say, yeah, I mean, all those things are great. We are still using paper, Excel, and Access applications and some old legacy applications. We just want to get the basic operations done. So we're not there, to use all your advanced features. So that's the reason I'm staying basic. Want to make sure that everyone understood what the field service software is and how a typical day in a life of field service organization operates. So I guess once we understand all these fundamentals, maybe in another session or something, I could, based on your interest, I could pick up some advanced topics, and we could have some dedicated sessions based on that. Okay. All right. So about me, myself. So I'm D365 field service and PSA consultant, senior consultant. So I've implemented several mid to large size field service automation projects worldwide in several different verticals like telecom, consumer electronics, manufacturing and service, HVAC mechanical company, and project service organization. I've been in on the field service vertical for almost 15 years now, yeah, worked with a couple of different products before I started working on D365. Fairly similar set of features and same business processes when I go from company to company, organization to organization. So the last couple of years, yeah, I've been fully focused and dedicated on field service. The more features I see Microsoft is rolling out, and I'm getting more excited to stay in D365. So that's what excites me to stay with D365. And my special interest within D365 field service is the resource schedule optimization. I know it's a pretty hot topic. So maybe we can have some focused sessions sometime in future just on resource schedule optimization and other advanced topics. So my email ID, so you can see here, rajbabu at polysolutions.com, and then my LinkedIn hyperlink. So please take a note. I think Ras will also share my LinkedIn link later in the chat. So please feel free to get in touch with me, and I'll be happy to answer any kind of questions that you may have in future that are related to field service and PSA. Yeah, by the by, not just field service, I'm also experienced in project service automations. Very soon it's going to be project operations. So I just finished a gig with one of the project service company where I just implemented D365 PSA. Okay. All right. Any questions so far? Right. So today we're going to be covering introduction to field service, what a field service is, and D365 field service features and what are the features that the Dynamics is offering. And then I'll take you to the application and walk you through some real cool features of Dynamics, and then we'll wrap up with the question and answer. All right, so what is field service, right? So people ask, okay, I thought D365 customer engagement is CRM. So how is field service coming into the picture? So first we need to understand what the field service organizations, what they do. So any organization that deliver on-site service to customer locations, they're classified as field service organization, and they would be a good fit for Dynamics 365 field service module. Some of the examples are manufacturing companies, utility companies, and healthcare and equipment maintenance companies. So typically a manufacturing company, a medical device manufacturer, or a coffee machine manufacturer, or a refrigeration manufacturer, who sells the machines to the clients, and then after sales service, if there's something goes wrong with those devices that they sold, they need to send the technicians to the customer location to service the equipment. So with the utility company, like a fiber optic cable company or an electrical utility company, if something breaks down somewhere in the connection or some residential houses, so people call for help, and the companies, they need to send the resources, technicians to the customer or to the residential locations to respond to the outages. Okay. So similar situation with the healthcare and other equipment maintenance companies. Okay. All right, so what does field service application look like, and what is a typical flow field service application will have. So when you call these field service company and ask for some service, so they basically have to first create the work order based on your request. If something goes wrong, or you need some help, some service, so whatever it is, they need to record that information. So what typically field service organization will do is they'll create the work order. So once the work order is created, they need to schedule and dispatch a right technician to the customer location. So once it is scheduled and dispatched, then it reaches the technician who are at the field. Then they take the information and go to the customer location and perform the service and capture all the information that they need to capture at the customer location and complete the work order. So once the work order is completed, then again it comes back to the back office, and back office folks, either the call center or the dispatch organization, or maybe administration clerk. So they have to review what work order has been completed, and they have to invoice for the work performed to the customer. Sometimes they invoice, sometimes they don't, because if it comes under the preventive maintenance yearly agreement or contract, or sometimes if it is included, the service work is included in the cost of the service that they're offering, then they don't bill to the customer. So this is a typical workflow, end-to-end workflow at a very high level, like 30,000 foot level. So yeah, a lot of things goes under each of these buckets, and a lot of variations from company to company. Like I said, at a 30,000 foot level, it starts from work order, schedule, dispatch, service delivery, and finally it gets completed after the review and bill to the customer. Okay. All right, Dynamics 365 field service capabilities. So there are tons of features Dynamics offers. So this is not the comprehensive full list, but these are some of the key areas I wanted to highlight what the Dynamics 365 field service is capable of, or what are the features that Dynamics 365 field service offers. As we talked about, work order, ability to create the work order and capture the information that are related to the work order. And once the work order is created, there are a lot of nice tools, productive tools available to schedule and dispatch to the technician. Scheduling is not just scheduling to the technician, and there are so many things goes into the scheduling factor. You got to send the right technician to the right customer with the right skill set, and make sure that they have their inventory and the part that are available, so that the technician does not come back, because of lack of skill or lack of tool or whatever it is. The objective of field service dispatches for first call completion. So when a technician goes, you send the right technician, and at the first visit, he has to complete it. So that improves the customer satisfaction. And communication tool. So this is to enhance the collaboration between the back office people, call center, customer service agents, dispatchers, field technician, and also with the customer and other stakeholders. So let's say if a technician, scheduled at 10 a.m. at a customer location, and he's getting delayed because of traffic, or maybe delay in the earlier customer visit. So the customer who's getting delayed has to be appropriately updated, via email and all those. So the system tracks, where the current location of the technician, and it alerts, or maybe a person who is sitting in the back office watching the schedule board, like tracking where the technician are, and will be updating the the customer in the appropriate manner. Okay, so the real-time communication between the technician and the back office and the customer, really helps to enhance all the communication proactively. It comes with a mobile application, so that guides technician through schedule changes and service work and all the details about the work order. So he does not need to call the back office So people who are using papers and pencil and other legacy software, they're constantly texting each other between the back office and the technician who is on the field. So with this sophisticated mobile application, all the information that are related to the work order, or most of the information that are related to the work order, will be in his own mobile app. So that reduces the interaction between the person who is driving in the streets or maybe who's at work. It avoids all the texting or calling the back office back and forth. And asset management. The field service system could be a system of record for all the customer equipments that they're providing the maintenance and service history. And also the preventive maintenance, people who are giving an annual preventive maintenance contract. So those contract and agreement can be created in the field service, and it automatically creates, let's say if you have to visit your customer every 3 months, based on the contract. So we can set up the agreement with a 3-month frequency, and system automatically creates a work order, automatically schedules the right technician, and there's no manual intervention. There's no missing of schedule. So the system takes care based on how it was set. Inventory purchase and return capabilities. So this is to manage. Every technician will have its own can have its own truck stock inventory. A sub inventory location, attached with the main inventory location at the office. So the system can keep track of what the technician has in his truck. And if it goes below the minimum quantity, we can raise the purchase orders and fulfillment and product returns, RMA, and all those whole product and inventory cycles are handled in D365 field service. And billing capabilities, once the work order is completed, it has to be if the customer has to be invoiced based on the service that they performed, based on, maybe it could be depending on the number of hours the technician who spent at the customer location, or depending on the number of parts that they used at the customer location, or maybe a fixed flat fee rate. There are many options that are available to bill the customer based on the service that they provide. Or, like I said, in a preventive maintenance case, they don't send the invoice because it's annual billing, and that goes in a different cycle. It could be a quarterly billing, it could be a semi-annual billing, or it could be monthly billing, irrespective of the number of visits the technician is going to visit. Time tracking. So system can track time, working hours of the technician, their availability, if they want to take a break, PTO, and all those. So we can track using the system, so that if the technician is on PTO break, the system will not schedule work order during the time that the technician is not available. Of course, all exceptions can be handled. We can override and book when technician is on vacation. You can call him, hey, this is a very critical thing, we want you to help, so that kind of thing. Or maybe after 5 p.m., 6 p.m. after the work hours ended. So we can still take care of all the jeopardy conditions. So with all the information that are captured in the system, so analytics and reporting. So the system has out of the box some dashboards and reporting, and also we can use Power BI tool to extract this information and build a fancy reporting tool out of it. So again, this is not a complete list. There are so many other items that are missed, but these are some of the core key features that are used in a day-to-day, could be used in a day-to-day life in a field service organization. Okay. Any questions? I see people texting. I'm not watching the text, so maybe Ras, you can help if there's any questions, while I'm presenting. Okay. All right. The next slide is field service configurations. So there are again tons of configurations that are available. So I've highlighted here some of the key configuration entities. I will also walk through some of them in the demo. So bookable resource are technicians who can go to the field to work on a work order. And bookable resource, not just technician. So it could be any resource. Let's say, for example, if it is a service facility, it's an office or a warehouse or a facility where people need to come or people need to book to perform a certain service. So we can also set up a facility as a service, or maybe an expensive equipment like calibration equipment, or I'm just giving an example. So there are some equipment that are very expensive, so it needs to be shared between the technicians. So we can also schedule those equipments along with the bookable resource technician. So there are so many items like facility, equipment, and technicians. They can all be set up as bookable resource, and we can schedule work order to them. We can also form a team or a crew member. There are places where more than one technician will go to customer location to perform the job as a crew. So we can also form a crew in the system and assign the crew to the work order. Okay. And territories, a large country like United States and other countries, they typically split the service organization, service areas into multiple territories. It could go smallest level to the zip code, depending on the number of customer and the amount of travel that the technician can travel, or company want them to travel, so they can set up the territory based on their needs. Priorities, work order priority, high, medium, low, critical, that type of thing. As soon as you see a critical work order, people immediately jump on it and schedule it and take care of a critical work order. There's a huge power outage or a huge communication outage or something like that. We can set up a warehouse and assign products to the warehouse, and we can track the inventory of warehouses. So we can also set up postal codes. Postal codes, help to define the territories. So then skills and characteristics. So skills and characteristics can be defined and assigned to a technician. Like, for example, if it's electrical work, so only electricians with a certified, it's a specific certification, need to perform the work. So we can set up the work order, with that type of, with that type of work, with an incident type of which requires a certification. Then when you're trying to schedule the work order to the technician, it looks for technician, who has the electrical certification skills. Okay, so I'm just give an example, but like that, the many skills and certifications that are used in various industries. So we can specifically book the right technician with the right skills, which will enable to accomplish the first call completion, because we don't want to send a wrong person to the work order. So products, price list, payment terms, organization unit. So we can set up multiple organization unit within the system, and each resource, bookable resource, can be assigned with each of the organizations, and it can be handled separately. So incident type, service task, and I'll explain that detail in the next slide. Tax code. So for billing, we need tax codes. I'm not sure about the other country. United States, every state, sometimes some of the zip codes, postal codes, have their own tax, sales tax percentage. So we can define all those sales tax details using, to the lowest level of postal code. We can define them, and we can apply when it is due for billing. We can also customize booking statuses, and the system can also be a system of record for customer assets. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, yeah. Someone asked me, we met at Viking Cruise. Yes, I worked at Viking Cruise, by the way. All right. Work order details. So the reason I'm focusing a dedicated slide for work order is this is very critical in field service, because everything in field service revolves around the work order. So, defining the work order correctly, it's very critical because I feel this is the foundation of the system. So we have to understand, what the work order and what are the different components of work order. I mean, which one is used for what. So all those level of details. So I think that solves around like 20-25% of the solutioning problem with any typical field service implementation. So if you look at D365 field service work order, so work order in this middle, so work order can be categorized as multiple types. It could be an installation type, it could be a service type, or it could be any other type that can be classified by the company. Priority, as I said in the earlier slide, it could be critical, high, medium, low, and service territory. So they all assigned with the linked up with the work order. And each work order has two different customer accounts, billing account and the service account. Which means, so when you perform a service, you will be performing a service at one location, at a one physical location, but the bill of the invoice of that particular service may go to a different location. So it's like bill to address and the actual delivery address in other ERP systems. So every work order has two different accounts, service account and billing account. And also, we need to have resource assigned to the work order, bookable resource assigned to the work order. And the work order also maintains the schedule of booking of who is working on the work order, when it was scheduled, what time, how many resource, and all those. So on the right-hand side, so we can define incident. When a customer calls, typically in a HVAC industry, oh, my AC is not running. I couldn't breathe the air. It's so dirty. So I probably need a air filter change in the air conditioner. So the incident is typically a bad quality air, or maybe the heat is not working, or the cooling is not working, or the machine broken, or something like that. So we can define incident, and then we can template the incident with the list of products. Let's say if customer says, oh, the air quality is not good, so which means that obviously they need to change the filter. So there is a product that is defined in the system, filter change or air filter, gets attached with the incident. So as soon as you tie up that incident with the work order, the system automatically adds those products, and what type of service they need to perform obviously is change the filter. And for changing the filter, what are the tasks, or what are the steps that the technician needs to perform at the customer location? So all those level of details can be defined at the service task. So product, service task, so they can be defined separately and can be combined and templated when you create an incident. So when a customer calls, I don't have, the air quality is not good. So all I need to do is choose an incident in the work order, and it automatically populates the required products and service tasks required for that incident. And likewise, if you need to perform a certain task, if you need a skill sets to do that work, so we can also define a characteristic so that when it goes and looks for the resource to perform the work order, then it picks up the technician with the right characteristics, which are the skills and the certifications for the technician. So that's the details of the work order. It's very critical to understand all these details. All right, good. So it's time to demo. All right, so I am in field service module, and so here, service area. So I see work order here. So I am going to create a new work order with whatever that I mentioned related to the.
We can't see your field service screen.
Hold on. Okay.
That's better.
Thank you. All right, so that's the work order screen. So I'm going to create a new work order. So like I said, we have two different accounts that we need to choose: service account and a billing account. So I'm going to choose ABC Co as a service account. Yeah, by default, out of the box, it assigns the same company name as a billing account, but you can choose a different company as a billing account. So which means a service need to be performed at this location. And once a service is completed, the billing invoice need to be sent to this location. So I'm going to choose early customer as a billing account. And the system status, now that I am creating the work order system status is open unscheduled. So this is a system status. We cannot change. These are out of the box status. Unscheduled, schedule, in progress, completed, posted, and canceled. So as we progress on the work order lifecycle, so the system keeps updating the system status, or whoever is working on can change the system status. And then for each system status, we can define multiple substatus. So a customer right now calling the back office, and the back office person is creating the work order. So when everything is all clear, maybe there is no need to enter any substatus, but knowing the root cause of the problem, or understanding a current situation, if there is a part that is needed that they don't have on their warehouse, then they probably choose like waiting for parts. So which means that the person who is scheduling this work order will not be scheduling this work order, because the reason is it's waiting for parts and it will still be open unscheduled. So when the parts arrive, then they can schedule this work order. So right now it's only business mandatory field. I'm not going to choose anything. So I'm going to create this work order with open status, and then I'll walk you through how to schedule this. Okay. So work order type. So like I said, it could be anything, however the company organization wanted to classify: inspection, installation, service, filter change. So I'm going to choose filter change type work order. So then price list. So price list for now, I'm going to choose a default price list, but a specific cost and sale price can be entered within the work order itself. So that drives the invoice. Okay. So then do you want this work order to be taxable or not taxable? So I'm going to choose taxable as no to keep it simple. So customer called and it defines what the problem is. So based on the problem, you pick the primary incident type that you already defined in the system. Okay. So before I go next steps, I want to walk you through how an incident setup looks like. Okay, so this is the incident type setup. So if you look at it, I created an incident type called air filter change, and it needs estimated duration of about 1.5 hours to complete that work. And to do this job, I need a filter product that needs to be installed. That's one quantity. But you can go like as many products, the complex service, that may need like more products, more replacement or anything like that. Okay. And the type of service that I want to perform for this incident is filter change service. And the service task that I need to perform for this service these are the steps that technician needs to take when he's on the field. Obviously just simple steps: stop the system, replace the filter, turn on and test the system. But in a complex scenario, these steps could run like 20, 25, or even 50. Assume you need to service an elevator in a high-rise building. Imagine the number of steps that you have to tasks that you have to perform just to perform one small minor repair in a building elevator. Okay. So also you can define characteristics, what skills are needed. I did not define it, but right now we'll see how the product, service, and service task works. Okay, so I'm back to work order. So I choose the primary incident type, add filter change. So then I'm going to save this. So it automatically populated, I need a duration of 1.5 hours based on the incident type that I set up. Okay, so here I get the warning message saying incident type, product, service, and service task will be added in the background. Change may not take immediately, but let me go to products. Okay, so see here, the required products to perform this service, it's automatically added based on the incident type that we created. So I got the product filter that needs to be changed. So and then service that needs to be performed is filter change service, and then service task. These are the steps that I need to perform. So I'm going to keep this and save now. So right now there is no booking, no schedule created. So we only created the work order. So the next step is to schedule and dispatch this work order to a technician. So a back office person, when a customer calls in, all they have to do is just get the information, choose the service account or the billing account or whatever it is, and create the work order. And there are some companies, they choose to schedule right away. You can also get customer preferences like what time technician needs to come, and so you can capture all those preferences. Oh, I'm not going to be available tomorrow. Can you send your technician on day after tomorrow or Friday afternoon? That's when we'll be free to accommodate or entertain technician. So all those customer preferences can be captured here. Okay, and the address of this address where the technician needs to go. So it is based on the site location that I picked. So it filled in this information. So any address, it is very important to have a latitude and longitude of the address. The whole field service scheduling is working based on latitude and longitude. If this is wrong, if the address is not correct, if we cannot get the correct latitude and longitude, then the whole scheduling system could go. It could be a wrong travel time calculation, and due to that, you could be overbooking or you could be underbooking a day. So it could throw off the whole thing. And if you don't have it, if you don't see latitude and longitude calculated, you can click on the geocode, and so that would give you that would correct the address, and then accordingly it calculate the latitude and longitude for that address. Okay. All right, that's all on the work order. So I am going to go to, so now it's ready to be scheduled. I'm going to go to the schedule board. So this work order number is 54. So it shows up in the schedule board underneath under unscheduled work orders. So this schedule board, it's the or it is the tool that that the back office scheduling people will use to make sure that they keep track of all the schedule, which needs to be completed on time, or any new thing that comes up that shows up here, and they need to schedule any unscheduled work order. So if you see, if we entered the customer preferences, the time from, time to, so all those informations will show up here. So based on which you can schedule based on the customer preferences. Right now, there's really nothing. And I am going to schedule to a Tech 1. So that's the list of resources that shows up in the schedule board. Okay. So there are many ways you can schedule work order. So one of the simplest way and easy way that I really like is the drag and drop feature. Okay. So I choose 54 work order. I am scheduling to 2 p.m. for technician 1. Okay. By the way, so these are the bookable resources that I already pre-configured. So that's in the system. So all the bookable resource will show here. It could be a technician, it could be, like I said, it could be a manufacturing facility, or it could be a tool, equipment, and all those, or it could be a crew. So I try to form a crew here, but right now it's 0 resource because my schedule already expired. So I can set up multiple technicians under the crew, and I can schedule to the crew. So Thereby, we are scheduling the same work order to all the technicians who are part of the crew. Okay. So, so this is a hourly view. So we can also switch into days, weeks, and month, and to see how the schedule is laid out. So a busy field service organization, let's say with the 200 technicians, 300 technicians, imagine how crazy their world is. You know, they probably have to schedule like 1 week ahead, 2 weeks ahead, and also make sure that they keep track on the current day, make sure that nothing falls off from the schedule. So the timeline that you see here, you know, it's the current timeline. So I'm on Eastern EST time zone. So right now it's 1:35 p.m. So the timeline moves as the time moves. Okay, so it's 1:35 p.m. So if you see any work order that is still in this blue color, so which means that this is scheduled, the booking status is scheduled, and not completed, or technician even start driving, then that's a big concern. Okay, so you already scheduled, you promised to a customer, but no action being taken on any of the technicians, so that is a concern. So immediately you reach out to the technician, or you message technician, or you call or if you know that the technician is getting delayed from his previous calls, then you call the customer and get a new appointment, or maybe simply drag and drop to another technician, when other technician is available. Okay, so I'm going to leave it to Tech 1 right now. All right, so now we scheduled this work order to technician. So I'm going to go back and refresh this work order. Okay, so you see that the booking details added. So the booking is today at 2 p.m. Okay, so you can also open this record, and it gives you booked for 1.5 hours with technician 1. Booking status is scheduled. Booking type is solid. So all good. Okay. Now I'm going to switch to the mobile app. So now work order is scheduled. Technician needs to be communicated. So technician typically carries a mobile app on his phone. So I installed the Windows app here. Okay, so this is how the mobile app, field service mobile app looks. So technician can look at all their accounts and contacts. Of course, we can limit the number of records, based on the roles, rights, settings, and all those. So we don't need to expose all the accounts to all the technicians, right? So if he's working only on Northeast or a particular territory, then he probably need to see only that particular accounts. He does not need to know the other account unnecessarily. It's loading the system with unnecessary data. Okay, so I came to booking here. So I see that I see ABC company has scheduled 2 p.m. So if I'm carrying my mobile, I would get an alert saying that a new work order has been scheduled. Okay. Exception. I'm going to ignore that for now. This mobile app can also work offline. So imagine if you're going for a high-rise building, you work in a basement, or where there is no cell signal. So once the information is downloaded, you can continue to work on this work order in offline, collect all the information as part of your job completion. And finally, you come back to a place where you have signal and sync all the information back to the system. Okay. So now technician sees this information. So before I get there, so I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I can get a week view, month view, and all those. So I can just navigate. So I can even apply filter condition. The technician can see only schedules, 3 days ahead of time or 1 week ahead of time. So that's how we control all the visibility of the technician, because there's work orders scheduled subject to change. So I want to restrict the filter. There is also an option available. It's called drip feeding. So which means that technician can see the work order only when he completes the previous job, and he can only see the next work order. He will not see the other work orders that's immediately following the next work order. So if you're using RSO, like a resource schedule optimization, so it constantly runs behind the scenes and optimizes the schedule based on the new work order that are coming in, or if any work order changed or something, to optimize so that you gain better travel time, drive less with reduce the travel time and reduce the travel distance. So it constantly keeps changing, and at times it's confusing to the technician what is going on. So we may want to choose a drip feeding option, so it just drips as technician finishes each work order. Okay. So I'm going to choose this work order. I clicked on ABC company that's scheduled at 2 p.m. So booking status right now, it's scheduled. So it's supposed to start time at 2 p.m. I'm already at 1:40 p.m. right now. Actual arrival time, I don't know yet because I've turned off the location information on my laptop, so it's not picking up the location. So in a typical scenario, when a technician carries this mobile, then it constantly accesses the current location using GPS signal and updates, and from his location, system tells the estimated travel time, and then once he arrives, he changes this booking status. The system changes the actual arrival time. Okay, so I'm going to change the booking status to in progress because I am ready to start driving from wherever I am. Okay, I'm going to save this. To this. Okay, so if you see the work, the color is blue right now. System automatically refreshes, but in this case, I'm going to refresh for myself. If you notice, the color changed to green, so which means the technician is in progress for this work order. And you also notice this work order was scheduled at 2 p.m., right? So because I started traveling now, the system pulled the work order to the current time, which is 1:41 p.m. So which means that it automatically adjusts. So this gives a better visibility, better picture for the dispatcher, or the service manager, who is who's sitting in the back office. So in real time, like what's going on, they don't need to call the technician to ask like, where are you, which work order are you going to work on next, and all those. So as soon as they update the status, people at the back office will see the status change. Okay. All right, I'm going to go back to the all right, so whatever we filled, the information that we filled in the work order, technician would see all the informations in the mobile app. Okay, so the service account, ABC company. So then primary incident type, air filter change, and oh, I forgot to choose an asset. So if you choose the asset, then customer asset will also show up here. So imagine a situation where a huge office building with like 50 floors. So every floor has like 10 different units or 20 different units of air conditioner. So you got to clearly specify which customer asset it is. So this asset is roof number 2, and the unit number is like 345 or something like that. So thereby technician will know, okay, I need to go to this location to perform on this particular asset. Okay, work order type, filter change. So all the information that we keyed in, it's all populated here. Now, when technician about to drive, so they can also get a turn-by-turn direction from his location to the customer location. So click on this turn-by-turn location. So it brings up the default map application on the mobile. Like I said, I don't have the service location enabled, so it's not giving me the turn-by-turn direction. But yeah, if you use it in a real a mobile application, it'll give you a turn-by-turn directions, and you can leave it on until you reach the customer location. Okay, incident, service, task. So all this information shows up here. Okay, I think I'm gonna pick up my pace. So in progress. All right, it picked up the current time as the actual arrival time, but I can also change the arrival time. Sometimes I arrive at a customer location like 1:30 p.m., but I talked with the front office, go through the check-in process, but I totally forgot to update the arrival time that I reached 1:30. The system defaults by itself, but if you want to override, you have flexibility to override. Okay, so I arrived and I need to perform the task. So I come here to the service task. So replace filter. So my first step is stop the system. So I'm going to mark this 100%. Save it. So I finished that work, and then I need to replace the filter. Okay, I finished this. So I'm going to save this. Now, okay, we completed 2 tasks. So in the meantime, someone sitting in the back office, they're wondering like what's going on. Yeah, obviously, it's the work is in progress, but what exactly in progress? So I can come here and look at the service task and sorry. That's work order 54. So you see the service task, it's got the 2 of them are 100% complete. So as technician completes, it also updates the system at the backend. So the back office service manager or the dispatcher will get the real-time update from technician from the field. Okay, so I'm done. I'm going to do this last step. All right, so there's a product filter that I obviously need to replace. But if I installed, any other, and I see something else wrong, but that is needed for this service, so I can also add additional products, and then I can complete the work order. So whatever products that I added, back office people will see, and accordingly, based on the quantity that I used, the invoice can get generated based on this. Okay. So estimated unit amount, let's say 25. So I can also add notes, etc., etc. Okay. All right. So I could do a lot more on this work order, but all right, finally I finished. I'm going to complete this work order. Save it. Okay, so, okay, watch the schedule board. This job is scheduled until 3:30 p.m. or 3:15 p.m., whatever it is. Okay, now that I finished this job within like 5 minutes, so it shrunk the duration of the work order to just that 15 minutes. So what this means is the technician is available more. Okay, so if you don't have this visibility, you have no idea whether the technician has completed or not, and you would assume that the technician is going to complete at 3:50 or maybe delayed. So you have jobs scheduled only after 3:15. So now with this real-time information, so you see this is already complete. So which means that technician has more availability. So which means he can finish more job. So, or it could be other way around too. So if technician is delayed, if he's not finishing, within the required duration, so it might go all the way to like 5 p.m. So any job that are scheduled after will fall under jeopardy condition. So which means dispatcher have to take action on reassigning that to someone else or reschedule it to some other day. But if you're using utilities, tools like RSO, resource schedule optimization, the system constantly checks and optimizes the schedule based on what has happened on the previous work order. So in this case, yeah, there is availability. If that work order is flagged to be picked up by RSO, so it picks up and it immediately assigns in the next run, closer to the current timeline. Okay. All right, so the work order is completed. Right now, see the system status change to open completed because this is completed right now. So all the information is good. Some person who is ready to bill sees this filter is used. Okay, quantity and all those. Okay, line status changed to used. Okay, so because I was there only for 5 minutes, the system automatically updated the duration to 0. But technician still went to the customer location, so he had a truck roll, and obviously I need to charge my client some dollar because he completed the job. He finished early, but he still did it. So I still want to charge this customer maybe $150 for this. Okay, so I see all tasks are completed. So everything completed, now it's ready to bill. So I'm going to update the system status from completed to posted. Okay, so what this does is, it creates the invoice as soon as you update the status to closed posted. Okay, I'm going to go to the invoice section. Okay, so that's invoice number 54 for the work order 54. Okay, so I think it picked up only the filter product. It did not pick up the service charge. You got to look at why. But you guys get the logic that whatever that is used and finalized in the work order, it picks up that information and it creates the invoice. So there are some standard template available. I know it's not a fancy one, but we can customize this template to look like a real invoice with the customization and all those. So those line items that you see in the work order will show up on the invoice. Or once the invoice is created, if this is integrated with the other external ERP system, like a FinOps or Business Central or anything like that, so this information can be sent to other financial application, and you can invoice from the financial application. Okay, so and then the AP, AR, everything happens in that financial application. But you just mark here, you confirm invoice, and and then this work order is completed, and we send the invoice. Okay, so that's pretty much the whole life cycle of work order creation, schedule, and handling jeopardy condition, and optimizing the schedule on the schedule board as technician completes or as the work gets delayed. So as more work order comes in, it's going to show underneath, and all you got to do is just like drag and drop to the technician and schedule it. Okay. So this schedule board is also used by PSA, Project Service Automation. So sometimes in a field service organization, they perform both new installation as well as the service job. So new installation works are typically considered as a project. So in that case, they can use the project module. It can go depending on the complexity of the project. It could be a week project. It could be a month project. So it can be handled as a project, but you can still use the same scheduler board to schedule those project work to the same set of resources. The scheduler board will give you a unified view of what are they actually scheduled, projects or the actual work orders from the field service module. So all those visibility. Okay. And you can create your own view of schedule board with all the customizations and your own personal settings, because I like to view the actual number of hours the technician is spending. And some people are for people who are at the higher level in the management. They want to see a percentage of the hours. So all those customizations can be set here. Okay, and if I want to see a legend, I can see the legend, see all the color code, get the legend. But once you got used to the system, then you don't need legend, so you can turn off. So okay, so one thing I did not show you is the travel duration. That's why I got the screenshot. Okay, this is a typical day. Sorry. All right, this is a typical day in any field service organization. So imagine a company who has like 700 technicians or 7,000 technicians. My previous engagement was with a large elevator company who had like 20,000 technicians across the entire world in 20 plus countries. So, so it could go as complex as that, or it could be a simple scheduler board, smaller company with just like 5 technicians or 10 technicians or 30 technicians. But whatever it is, your typical day will look like this. See a small handle before the actual start of the work order. So that's the travel time. So once I enable the GPS and all those, so it also calculates the travel time. So how much travel time is needed from the current location, wherever technician is, and to reach to the customer location. Okay, so that gives you visibility into travel time. And yeah, you can also look at the map view, and each color code is one technician. You can see a technician's path, if he's going in sequence, or he's crisscrossing between the north and south and jumping back and forth, or like east to west. Getting a high-level visibility of how the technician is laid out, so you can take an informed decision to rearrange the work orders so that you can save the travel time and also increase the number of calls the technician can complete in a day. Okay. And then there are multiple ways to schedule. What I showed you is a manual service scheduling, simple drag and drop. So you also have a schedule assistant in that scheduler board. So you click on it, the system recommends based on the parameters that we set in the work order and the parameters that we set in the bookable resource. So it matches the skills, dates, and the distance of the technician, who is the closest technician that can get to the job. So it's kind of assisted scheduling. So it recommends you the technician based on the parameters that you set, and you can pick and choose technician on that. Third option is going entirely with using resource schedule optimization. So once we install that, once we configure it and mark those areas or mark those jobs to optimize, then it'll completely optimize. Again, there are different types of optimization. Vertical optimization, a resource level optimization, and a complete optimization. So resource level optimization is, particularly if a field service organization has a route assigned to a technician where he goes only, in that route. So that route has like 10 jobs, and technician can optimize only to his route. So it does not affect the other technician. So there are options like that. So whatever fits best to the organizations, we can pick and choose and configure the right optimization. Okay. Any questions so far? Everyone is awfully quiet. Can you guys hear me? Can someone respond?
There is a question by Nick Broders. Okay. The question is regarding the schedule board, and if you had over 25 people on a list, how would you do it in a better way, which doesn't require so much scrolling?
Okay. Yeah, we can filter based on an organization unit. There's breakups available here, so I can choose a particular territory, and it'll show only those technicians. See, I don't have any technicians in East. So yeah, I don't have anything configured, so it is not showing up. So it shows up all the technicians. Or you can even break up by the organization unit and resource type, and resource pool type. So there are several options here. You can slice and dice. You can also set up a team and view that as a team. So this is how you filter. And if you want to go a particular resource, I can just go and type Raj, and it filters Raj here.
Thank you for that, Raj Babu. They can't see your screen right now. Maybe you haven't.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry. All right.
There you go.
Scheduler board. Okay. So there is a filter option here on the side. So you can go choose your filter. You can go by organization unit or territory or resource type, pool type, teams, business unit, everything. So this organization unit, I have only 4 resources available, so I can narrow down to that 4 resource. And let's assume that this organization is a huge organization, again, with like hundreds of technicians. So if I really wanted to go search by one technician, I can just search by one technician. It filters up. And then it also shows up a resource card. If you right click, view resource card. So you could see, technician, the skills and the phone number, what roles, some useful information. So that helps you to schedule to the right technician.
And Parag was asking, can a customer book an available slot directly, possibly through a portal or some other solution?
Yeah. Yes, we also have customer portal. So customer portal, we can give access to the customer, and customer can look at their assets, and they can create the work order, and they can give the preferred scheduled date and time. But they cannot book. We can customize for them to book, but if you allow the customer to book by themselves, then the back office at the field service organization typically will lose control, or it's an extra headache for them because people just log in and book their resources. So instead, it could be a gated, or someone has to in the back office has to approve so that schedule can be confirmed.
And Nick carries on to say he was really looking for well, he just wanted to be able to see a lot more resources in a view. Obviously, that's not going to be possible given the limited estate available on the screen. He was looking for another approach without using filters to see a larger amount of resources.
Right. So there are a couple of options here. So you could slim down all these. I could also click, and then I could clean up this, hide canceled. And also this is a maximize expand view here. So I can expand the view, and so I can see more resource. And as far as the timeline, I can go and shrink the timeline. So right now the time resolution is like 1 minute. 15 minutes. So I can increase the time resolution maybe to 1 hour. So which means Yeah, which means I can see more time, more width. But from a vertical perspective, I think this is the best that you could get. If you're using a larger screen, maybe you could get a few more resources vertically.
Yep, thanks for that. Parag has a question: how to optimize administrator work if I want to automate it more? So he wants to know if it's possible to automate it further.
You mean automate the scheduling part, or
yeah,
what do you want to automate?
I believe he wants to automate more of the scheduling aspect.
Okay, so if you want to automate, then I would recommend to go with RSO option. The system does everything by itself. You just set up some scope, define your requirement, and you can set up to optimize region-wise or the whole nation-wise, or however you want it to optimize. So a lot of options available if you go with the resource schedule optimization.
Okay, great. I believe that's it for questions, and we've gone over the time. So I think you've covered a lot in your session, and everyone's obviously saying thank you very much. Nick's very happy with your answer, yep. So the attendees. Are there any other? I think we're out of time now anyway. For any more questions and answers. So I just want to say thank you again, Raj Babu, for the session. It's a good session. It's really helped people to understand and get familiar with field services. It's not something that's very easy to get familiar with. It's a very bespoke application.
That's right.
Yes, so thanks again for that.
I'm just showing the benefit, the last slide, the benefits of implementing a field service system, D365 field service system. So yeah, it improves. I'll just quickly go over so that people can really, see what benefits they can get by implementing the system. So improve your first time fix rate, by sending the right technician at the right time, making sure all parties agree, making sure the technician has the right product. So for technician goes and he fixes at the right time. So there is no way to, make a repeat visit or something. So you're constantly tracking what is being completed. So if call gets completed early, obviously you can complete more service calls per technician per week, which increases the technician productivity and the customer satisfaction because you can complete more number of calls. And also by going to the schedule about travel time and optimization, all this. So you're really reducing your travel time, thereby, time, cost of gas, and, improved productivity. And I think those are the key stuff. I just don't want to go through the whole list. But other areas, improved communication and with all the asset history and have a complete system of record, tracking every single information in the system. So it is really highly beneficial to improve the operational productivity of an organization, field service organization.
Thank you once again, Raj Babu, for that.
Sure.
Do you have any final message for the attendees? We've got 20. I think we've got just over 20 people still on the call. So do you have a final message for anyone?
Everyone, thank you so much. I know a lot of people from UK, Europe area. I know it's pretty, it's late in the evening. Thank you for staying with us. So I hope this session is useful. And please let me know if you want me to cover any advanced topics. So I think this lays a good foundation of what field service is, what are the features that typically field service organization is looking for, and how D365 helps. But in future, I know we have more Saturday events coming up, so I think I can cover some of the advanced topics.
Yeah, very exciting, and lots of feedback. So Saritas and Carol saying thank you for the wonderful content. Bala also thanking you for the knowledge you've shared today, as well as Angus. Parag has a question regarding AI machine learning based solution on top of field service, assign best technicians based on early issues logged. I mean, Parag, look, I'm not aware of. I mean, if anyone's aware of if that's going to be a future capability, it's probably going to be it's probably going to be Raj Babu basically regarding further. But Raj recommends RSO, which is an AI machine, AI based solution. So that's the solution, Parag. I don't know if you've heard of RSO. So it's Microsoft's product, Azure product, which essentially does just that, Parag. So I'd guess I'd advise you to check that out, as Raj Babu has already mentioned. So thanks everybody for attending. Again, like I mentioned above, like everyone else has said, we're looking to get a lot deeper into our sessions as we proceed through the year. We have lots of upcoming events. Some are functional focused, some are developer focused, some are in between. Very much industry focused. So essentially, what we'd like is for you to send your requests on the topics that you find most challenging, so that we can address them. I want to thank all the speakers, everyone who's helped today, as well as the helpers such as Antti Pajunen, and Narayan, and Ambesh, and Victor Dantas, and everyone else in the community. Neil Parkhurst. I'd like to thank Trisha Sinclair, Dion. There's so many speakers, all the speakers. So yes, there are so many people who've really contributed towards today, and they only get bigger and better. So we expect the other events to be a lot bigger with a lot more sessions. Some of the events go on for like up to 24 hours. So we have a lot of jam-packed sessions and events ahead these coming months, especially over May, June, July, and August. We have many online events and conferences. So stay tuned. Please stay in touch. Please send your requests of content. Don't be shy. If you've got problems, please share them. Connect. Reach out to your network. Reach out to the speakers and everyone. And I'd just like to say thank you to everyone. Stay safe. And we're all in this. We're all in this together. And so thank you all. And again, thank you, Raj Babu, for the very short notice. You delivered this session on a very short notice as well. So I just want to thank you all once again.
I just literally prepared since last night after I accepted your invite.
Well, it's a very well set. It's a very good session, and just to remind everyone to make sure you've signed up to the social media. Our social media. That's where we make all our announcements. So make sure I'm sure most of you are signed up to the social media. We are making lots of changes in the coming weeks. We've got some new content, a new portal site being announced with lots more content being shared on there. Yes, so stay tuned. Lots of things happening. And I'd like to thank everybody, and goodbye, and have a great weekend. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all.
Bye, guys. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Alan. Thank you, Faisal. Faisal, a colleague of mine, an old colleague. Saritas, thank you for all your comments. Claudia, hello there, Claudia. Hello from France, I think you're from, aren't you, Claudia? So bonjour and au revoir. Narayan, thank you, Narayan. Narayan's from London. He's been helping with the recordings. And thank you once again, Raj Babu. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.